back to another episode. Happy Tuesday, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Rudy, my friend, welcome. Thank you for being here. Welcome back after a long
Dude, life gets in the way, man. It does. It's been a busy start of the year.
Tell them the real reason. What's going on? What's going on with
No, it's been a busy start of the year. It's been a busy start of the year. I could be building Magic cases right now, but I decided no, I'm gonna be here with my friend. You know?
Guys, see, wait. Just because of that comment deserves this, okay? Because it's not fair.
Have you heard of a psyop?
Oh my god, let's see who's in it. Guys, so we got a lot to talk about tonight. We obviously got the Kimono Trooper, right? We have Deadpool. It's up for pre-order on Sideshow. We got Purple Rain is up for pre-order on Sideshow. We got what else? We got Daredevil as well. Yeah, so we got tons to go over. Also, guys. Right now, I'm at 9,994 subs. Okay? 9,994. I am 6 subs away from 10K. If tonight I reach 10K by the end of the stream, there may be something juicy. Maybe not. We'll see. But let's say hello to you guys so we can get started right away. Let's see who is in here tonight with us. Let me see. We got Uncarded in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. I'm doing. Says no live stream tonight, guys. Travis isn't collecting toys anymore. Can you imagine the day of that announcement?
No, I can't.
I think communities will crumble. Can you imagine?
That would be the ultimate psyop right there.
Can you imagine? See, I would have played that joke tonight, but like everybody's gonna believe it, you know. Nobody's gonna
believe it because
we got Michael in the house. Welcome, my friend. Hello! Thank you for being here. Welcome. We got Rob in the house. Welcome, my
Konnichiwa means what's up.
Welcome. We got Giovan in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you. I'm doing. Howdy, y'all. Should be getting my Ahsoka tomorrow. So hyped for this one. Yeah, she looks beautiful. And did you guys see the metal joints? What?
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's really nice. See, for those garlics out there who say Hot Toys doesn't improve, Hot Toys doesn't innovate, tell me another company that's making metal joints.
You know what's funny?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Guys,
you know what's funny? I was gonna say, I saw who is it? MRC always gets the figures first, so I think he was doing the Deadpool thing, and he made a joke about the ankles, and I think the ankle on the new Deadpool, might be metal too.
Oh, really? That'd be great.
I think they might have gone metal, so that'd be great if that's what they're doing now.
That is great. That's a great idea. Carla, my friend, welcome.
Charlie, my friend, Charlie Brigante, how you doing?
Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. There's 20 of you guys in here. Thank you guys for being here as well. We got Bo.
How you doing?
It says, can't wait to receive my Anakin from Toys Wonderland. Should be shipping soon. He said, you sound so confident. He said, should be shipping soon.
It's not even Toys Wonderland anymore, right? Isn't it Toys Apollo now?
Yeah, it's Toys Apollo.
Or something else?
You know how crazy? I think it's that other one that Toys Assemble too, believe it or not. You know what's funny?
What?
That there's somebody out there saying the same thing and really meaning it, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's so crazy. That's so sad. Unbelievable. Let's go, Garlic Peasant and Infart 112 112 collectors. This guy. Unbelievable. Bienvenido, mi amigos y Diablitos Rosita. This guy's making fun of the trooper. Unreal. No respect for the trooper. Guys, there's 26 of you guys here. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Thank you guys for being here. We got Lou.
Hello.
Konnichiwa, bitch.
It says, what up on 1-6, Anakin, artists and collectors and inner 112 fans. There better not be an April Fool's shenanigans tonight. This guy. No, I just said I was gonna do the tell you guys that I was done collecting, and then that's never gonna work. That's why it's not even gonna happen. Ash, my friend, welcome.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Thank you for being here. Welcome. Let's see. Hello. Welcome, my friend. Yes, guys, hit that like button. There's 27 of you guys in here. Thank you guys for being here. We got Moo.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. We got Christian in the house. Welcome. Welcome. We got Bradley Cooper. Hello. How's the fine the fine China? He's making fun of my porcelain stone.
I know. Trust me, I know.
No respect. No respect. 15 waiting, 10 likes. How many likes now, Thule? Better be 26. Joe, my friend, welcome. Whatever, fellow collectors, I'm selling a figure for the first time this Saturday, and I'm having second thoughts about selling it, making $150 more than what I paid originally. Yeah, he's guys, for those who don't know, looks like Joe is going to start getting out of collecting. He's been nonstop buying everything, and this is what happens. You end up starting to lose passion for the hobby. So the moment you start selling your stuff, it's kind of your way out. You know what I mean? So Joe, it was nice meeting you. Okay.
Poor Joe, man.
Joe. 10,000 on the verge of to subscribe. Yes, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'll tell you how many left. 4 more.
Oh man, you're close.
4 more until we get 10K subs, guys. 10K. And then you know what that means. It's a Rudy Tuesday. Yeah. Can you imagine? When was the last one? Bob?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Get out. It wasn't last week, because last week I had my kids had something at school. It was the week before. It wasn't that long.
Was it? And then
with
that,
Nefty.
and then before that was 3.
Well, before that it was like 3 weeks.
3 months. 3 months. 3.5 months.
Not 3 months. Let's not get carried away.
Holy smokes! Did Rudy come out of retirement? See, everybody notices it. Everybody notices it. Ernesto, my friend, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Fab, it's not a kimono. It's a Hayori. Sorry.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Moose. Rudy, just do what Fabs does. Buy muscle racks and block doors with them. Actually, Bradley, before you run your mouth, that door that is being blocked, do you know what that is? That's why it's blocked. Okay? Nobody will ever need to go in that door. You know what that door is? Exactly. And you'll never know now, garlic. Don't forget to hit that like button, boys and girls. Yes, hit that like button, guys. Thank you guys for being here as well. Oh my God, Rudy is on the best April Fool's Day ever. This is actually a mirage, guys. This is green screen. He's really not here. Okay, creating 10 Russian bot accounts as we speak. Let's see if that's true.
Let's do it.
Nope, still 4. Let's see who else is here. Mad Planet in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Hello!
Welcome. Just says T800 top bro. The day there is no more hot tubs, there would be a lot of burned cars. Oh man, no respect. Derek, my friend, welcome. Welcome. Fast, I got my lady pool yesterday. Such an awesome. Yeah, oh my God, I completely forgot about lady pool, and I need lady pool, and I need kid pool.
Well, kid pool's not out yet.
Right. So then I need just Lady Pool.
You
then.
just need Lady Pool. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought Kid Pool. No, Kid Pool's
No,
out.
no, Kid Pool's not out. That one hasn't dropped yet. It went low stock on Sideshow, but it's not out yet.
What'd you say? It went low stock?
Yeah, I think Sideshow has that. You know how they're doing.
Pre-order. That's what I
Yeah.
meant. Yeah. No. I meant I didn't pre-order yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't get that yet. I didn't get Lady Pool. I didn't get Kid Pool. I didn't get what else did I get? I pre-ordered the Wolverine, both Wolverines. So
Same
I think
here.
I'm covered. Yeah, I'm covered
Same
already.
here.
You know, thank God, because you never know with these things, you know.
No,
Chris,
no.
my
Some of them
friend,
are going. Some of them are going quick, like the Captain
Mhm.
America. The new
Mhm.
one, at least on Sideshow, is waitlisted. I don't know if that's serious or not. but-
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. You know, it's not. You know, Marvel
No.
doesn't sell out like that, especially that movie after how well he did or how badly he did. Chris, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. We got Albert in the house. Welcome, my friend. Thank you for being here. Let's see who else. Best of luck, Joe. What's going on with Joe? Who else is here for the Switch 2? For the Switch 2. Oh my God. What's up, the
I
whole
forgot
crew
that was dropping.
here? Just in the middle of some stuff. Let's see. Is anyone trying to get the one night stand trooper, aka the one night stand trooper? No respect. Kid Pool waitlisted? No, I don't think so.
It is. It is on Sideshow.
Oh, it is. Never mind. It is. I didn't know.
It
I
is
haven't
on Sideshow.
Oh, and again, that's not real. That is definitely not real. Kid Pool, I might buy next week. Yeah, no, I need that. I need Lady Pool. Hey, Fabs, what do you think of the new Anakin? People are laughing, complaining about it. Your thoughts? Well, you should have watched my stream on Friday or Thursday talking about it, but I will give you the short version. I don't know what to think until I get it. No, it's completely different than the prototype. That's a fact. It does not look like the prototype. That's a fact. Does that mean it's not going to look great in hand? I can't tell you that because I don't know. Do I hope it's great? Yes. Do I think it's going to be fine? Yes. Is it the best Anakin to date? If you put that next to any of the older Anakins, absolutely. Right. It's the only thing is the hair that's making it look funky. And you could say, you know, only some angles. It's a lot of angles, you know, so that's the only thing. It's just the hair that came out a little funky, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? And like I said, before it started happening, I don't care how much you hate it. I don't care how much you dislike it. The figure is not going down in value because you hate it and because you say so and because you think so. The figure is going to go up and up and up and up until something comes out that dethrones it. And even then, right, it's still same thing that happened with Anakin, you know, the sculpted versions. We had the regular version, and then we had the dark side version. Right? So which one's going for more? Did the regular version lose value because the dark side version came out? I don't remember. Right? So because they're completely different, right? Does that mean it's going to lose value? Again, in this hobby, it tends to do so. But this figure being artisan, you know, being limited, that's what I'm counting on to hold the value and to keep increasing the value. Yep, Kid Pool. Wait, let's open. Rudy, why is that blue monkey pointing a gun to Daredevil?
That just sort of happened.
The blue monkey said.
Just sort of. I bought Daredevil out of the case just for, you know, just to have him there.
No respect.
No respect for Jake Sully.
Jake Sully. Anakin looks real good. I sent you Fabs a comparison to the sculpted, and both are amazing. Yeah, no. The sculpted, I can tell you, the sculpted is it's still, it's still what it is, right? It's not like it just all of a sudden got ugly, but next to the artisan, the artisan looks better. The artisan definitely looks better. Faz, you so-called hot toys guy. What is the next Deadpool figure you could? This guy so says. I can tell you the next figure. Let me see. The next Deadpool figure. Deadpool figure. I don't think we're getting any more Deadpools. I think what we're getting now is Wolverines. I don't think there's any. There's what other Deadpool could they? I mean, they can make any of them, right? But that would make sense. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so either. I think you're right. I'm still expecting that brown suit.
Wolverine. No, we're getting more Wolverines, 100%, 100%.
But Deadpool, I mean, it would have been Cowboy,
right?
But I don't know. I don't know that they're gonna go that far into the line. But I think we're still waiting for what Elektra and Gambit, because I'm pretty sure those are gonna come. Right? They're not gonna finish that. They're not gonna, especially Gambit. Now he's announced he's gonna be in what Avengers Doomsday.
Right.
So yeah, I think we're getting some of those.
Joe has a question for you, Rudy. Are those your only figures, Rudy? Do you collect by chance?
That's it. I'm one of those like less is more.
He got exactly. Tell him what you just picked up. How many module cases for those 3 figures?
I got the corner ones, the big ones. So it's gonna be one in each shelf. It's gonna be Jake Sully, then Daredevil. Can you imagine? If that's all I had?
In each corner piece?
That would be like such a waste.
That's real YouTuber status.
Just wait, Joe. Joe. It's coming.
That's less is more YouTuber status. No respect. All right, guys. So let's get started, Rudy. Because like I said, there's a lot to go over, and I know you always go to bed early. So we are gonna get into first, obviously, all the new stuff. So let's get started with
what, the 12 scale in art.
Yeah, we're gonna start with this beauty, the Kimono trooper. So as you can see, we are getting this exclusive Japan celebration cherry blossom version Stormtrooper. It reminds me of the porcelain. That's why I posted the porcelain version yesterday. For those who follow me on social media. Now, one thing I'm finding out, guys, as you can see here, they're the same exact thing, but one has a kimono and one doesn't, or a jacket and one doesn't, right? Why is that? Well, I thought it was the same thing, and obviously they're showing you that you could put one on, the jacket on or the kimono on one and then have it without it. Well, that's not the case. The figures that come with the kimono or the jacket are the Japan exclusives special editions, right? So this here, it's an entire figure on its own. This here is going to be the standard regular release that most likely, whoever's going to get them will get them. But this is strictly over there, right? So, Rudy, it looks like a lot of people don't really care for this trooper. A lot of people aren't excited about the trooper. I love this thing. I think it's really sexy. Again, next to the porcelain, this thing is going to be gorgeous. How do you like this? Do you care for this even after quitting Star Wars? Even though, obviously, getting a Star Wars head sculpt is completely different than a Star Wars helmet, especially a Stormtrooper.
No, man. This is... Look, I unlike people that are saying, like, why are we getting this? I get it. They wanted to do something special for this Japan exclusive, and it makes sense. But look, I got out of Star Wars, and even before I got out of it, right, I wasn't really picking up the troopers because I felt like it was a bottomless, hole that I was never going to be able to get out of. So, no, not even remotely appealing. Not even remotely appealing. Like, again, I get why they did it as a convention exclusive, but no, this is not for me.
Why don't you own, or not why don't you own? When the porcelain came out, was that appealing to you at all?
No, same thing. It's just like, again, it's very specific, but when you're putting these in your collection, it's this bizarre variant, right? It's like, can you really see this guy standing in a collection of stormtroopers? For me, yeah. Right? I know you can. Like, yeah. But if you have an army, it's an army of stormtroopers.
the thing. Here's the thing. This is not going to be obviously your standard plain white trooper. You're not going to put this next to a Darth Vader. You're not going to put this next to, a Darth Maul or any not Darth Maul, but anything like that, right? Anything related to or a Palpatine, right? You're not going to do any of that,
Right.
But when you have, for example, the porcelain, right? You have this. You have the silver one, right? You have the gold one. So the variants together will look incredible together. But to give it, to put them with regular standard Star Wars figure, they don't look good. They don't belong there.
See, at least like the silver or the gold, even those, right? Because they're just solid metallic. Those could go. Those could be like, oh, it's a special whatever. I feel like you could fit them in, but the China and the and this one, they just don't go, man. It would be like getting an Iron Man variant like this, right? Like the big appealing thing about the variants we get for Iron Man are they fit in, right? You can buy all of them and have a bunch of Iron Man armors. They all look great together.
Right.
But this one, it's just so different, right? It doesn't match. So that's my biggest thing. If I were collecting troopers, this just wouldn't fit at all.
Guys, there's 31 of you guys in here. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Thank you guys for being here as well. So what would make this more exciting for you?
Nothing.
Would nothing, right? There's nothing that this could get better, be better. Look, and I'm just noticing here too, you got a different color.
It's a gray pauldron or
Yeah,
whatever, the shoulder armor, yeah.
Right, which is really nice. I hadn't noticed that until right now. That's really cool. Again, very different. This is not your standard. So if you're a a purist of Star Wars, this is not for you. If you like variants, this is 100% for you. As you can see here, Star Wars Celebration exclusive, so you can only get the Hayori jacket through being there, I'm assuming.
Right.
Let's see. Jevin says, wait, is this real? It's not an April Fool's joke. It's real. It's real. Joe says paintball stormtrooper. This guy, no respect. There will be third-party Hayoris now. No way. I don't think so. It's not that serious. You know what I mean? Like nobody's looking to dress their stormtrooper in a kimono Hayori. You know what I mean? Like that's not a thing. So
yeah, because it's the same thing, right? It's like it's an interesting look, but
it's not.
Like
it's not
stormtrooper with this. It just doesn't.
Correct. It's not standard. It doesn't belong. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense for this figure because it's a Japanese, themed figure, so that makes sense. But to get a plain white stormtrooper and dress him up in a Hayori is not going to work. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's going to look weird. Leo, my friend, welcome.
Hello!
What's up, Leo?
Thank you for being here, my friend. Rob says, this is standard Disney SW. This is why no players show. This guy.
No, but look, I get it, right? I get it with the cherry blossoms and Japan. Look, I this is while it's not for me, I can see why Hot Toys would do something like this. It's very much a themed product for a specific show, and if you're there, you get a chance to pick it up and something unique. But if you're collecting Star Wars because you've got a huge Star Wars collection, I could definitely see people passing on this, right? Because it's not your standard.
And another thing, it's not easy to get, right? You have to really go out of your way to go find this thing. Right?
Yeah.
You're not getting this from Sideshow, right? You're not going to eBay to get this. So you really have to do some digging to go find this piece. Right? So they make it a little bit difficult too.
Right. It's like it's meant for a show, right? And look, it stands out. It's very different. Because what was the for D23? Remember they got the Iron Man mark. I forget the mark.
80.
But right, I think you could still find it. I don't think it's still sold. It's sold out at the Disney store. It might be.
Yeah, it's not sold out because they were giving it away for like $100 off. I was like, I bought two at retail at $400 plus, and people were getting it at like $300.
Right. It's one of those things where, but again, I feel like yes, it was a suit that showed up in the ride, but it wasn't different enough to have people kind of interested in saying, "Oh, it's so different that I want to have it." Right? It looked very similar to other
Right.
things. This thing, again, if you want something very different, and if this appeals to you, it's like you said, it might not go with the standard collection, but it's something that it's unique.
The
Right?
figure
So-
that Iron Man is more about the accessories than the actual Iron Man figure. You know what I mean? Because you like that spider, that holographic spider that comes off of his forearm, right? You got that blade that's a different color than the standard Mark 50 that we got it with. So it is supposed to be a little bit different, and it's supposed to make you want it because it's different. It is still an Iron Man, but it's slightly different than everything else we've ever gotten.
Right.
Tulis says it makes sense for Padme. For Padme. Because she's sexy. Now I need a hero for my fourth Deadpool. This guy, unreal. Fourth Deadpool on this trooper is just. Now I'm thinking, if I can't get the jacket version, do I pass? What's the point of you can't get the special edition? Well, they're both limited, right? They're both limited. They're both exclusives, right, to Japan, but one is just more special than the other. So it comes down to, do you collect special editions? Is that something that it's a must for you?
And look, I again, no interest, right? But if I were to pick one, I'd want to get the one with the jacket or with the Haori, right? Because you want something that's different. Right.
Correct.
To get just a trooper with the pattern on it, the cherry blossom pattern. Yeah, it's different, but it's the
jacket.
You want the full set. You want the full set. Yeah.
You want it to pop with the jacket on.
Yeah.
Looks like Vader bust this guy. No respect. Is this a stormtrooper?
Oh my god. Wow.
My grammar. You guys are on a roll. All right. So Rudy, 1 to 10, and what would make you, if anything, order this guy, find this guy, go out of your way to go get this guy?
All right, I'll tell you right now, this is going to be a Mike special, 0.0 and nothing. This is just not for me. I am not the intended audience.
No respect.
0.0.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. He's gonna buy it soon. All
Yeah,
right,
but you
so next,
get it?
huh?
Are you gonna get it?
Mine's already on pre-order. I don't know who you think you're talking to right now.
How many did you get?
Just one. I don't need. You don't need more than one. Yeah, you don't need more than one.
Well, you want the one with the jacket or the one without?
So that's the thing. So because it's two different versions, apparently the special edition one that's exclusive to there is the harder one to get. Right. So hopefully we're able to still get it. If not, we're just going to get the basic one without the jacket, but we'll see what happens. So guys, as you can see, oh my God, what is this? Tech support guys, just what the hell is this?
Wait, is this one of Ernesto's 10 Russian accounts?
That is hysterical. Welcome. What is this?
I'm doing.
What is going on right now? Hello, guys. Just stopping by. Have a great. He said tech support.
Unbelievable.
What is happening right now? This is insane. Definitely April Fools. That is hysterical. I wonder who that is.
I think it's Ernesto. Didn't he say he's going to make a couple of Russian accounts?
Oh, that's right. Ernesto. Is that you? This guy. Oh, my God. Daredevil, minute 1 PO. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I did the same thing.
Hook me up with a stormtrooper with Jack. He said hook me up with a stormtrooper with Jack. Let me hook myself up first, and then I'll hook you up. Tech support, do you collect? He said tech support, do you collect? Can you imagine? Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine being on a phone call with Sideshow and be like, excuse me, do you collect? Oh, my God. That's so funny. Oh, Moose says Daredevil. Day 1 pre-ordered. X23 and Purple Rain. SO. What is SO?
Sold out?
Sold out? Oh, I don't think so.
No, I think Purple Rain's still available, right?
Yeah, it's still available. I think so. I just saw it on Sideshow. That's awesome. That's great. Tech support. No, it's not me. I said Russian, not Indian. I said Russian, not Indian.
Oh man,
You guys are crazy. You guys are insane. He said not Indian. No respect. No respect. Don't be xenophobic, Ernesto. Tech support wigs. April Fool's Day wins. This guy. You guys are insane. Sold out. Yeah, no, not yet. Not yet.
no, it's still there.
Rudy. All right, Rudy. So this is something obviously we knew was coming. It was only a matter of time, right? We see it on the show, then it is put up for pre-order. How do you like the suit? How do you like? I don't know if you guys remember. I think I told you specifically that I didn't like how the mask looked on the show. It looked kind of funky. On the figure, it looks incredible. Okay, I don't know if it was because on the show it was dark, so you couldn't really. All you saw was a lot of this. A lot of darkness in the eyes, so it looked funky, but this thing is beautiful. How do you like it? Did you pre-order already? And what would you rate it?
Yeah, no. I pre-ordered the moment it dropped. This was something, and as soon as I got the notification it was up for Sideshow, I pre-ordered. Look, it's Marvel, so definitely my wheelhouse. But first of all, figure looks amazing. I think it looks great. I love the suit. I think it's great that it's this vibrant red. Right, because the original is this dark maroon, right? So it's a very dark suit, but this just looks great. I like that the Billy clubs are red too, right? The other ones were maroon, but everything is that bright red. He's got the longer wire and everything.
Well, it just looks great. It's the wire now. Like you could pose it too,
right? Because the other one had a shorter wire, so you could do some stuff with it, but it wasn't that great.
And
but
even,
this is.
And even the She-Hulk Daredevil's wire was you could pose it too.
Yeah, but again, not that long, right? Like the poses you can get with this thing, this looks great.
Oh, this one's super long. Yeah, no dig.
So
go ahead.
Great figure. No, great figure.
Now, one thing that I told you guys was going to happen, guys, there's 42 of you guys in here. Please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Thank you guys for being here. So one thing I told you was going to happen was what? Brand new head sculpt. I told you that was going to happen because there was no way that they were going to reuse the one from She-Hulk. He looks nothing like her, like he did on the show, right? The head sculpt here, as you can see, I want to pull up something before we continue because there is something that I wanted to show you guys. For whatever reason, again, this one here doesn't look great. I saw Bob posted the figure when they show it at Secret Base, with the base already out for display. And the head sculpt looks way better in that video than it does in this picture. I don't like the way this head sculpt looks here. It looks off. It looks funky. The She-Hulk version as well wasn't great by any means.
No, that was a horror. I really that sculpt. I really thought Hot Toys dropped the ball. Like I hated that sculpt, and I'm pretty forgiving with Hot Toys just because I think, again, right, we've talked about it, seeing where they started to where they are now. Like if the sculpt is close enough, I'm not very particular in that sense. But that one was just off. That one was a major fail.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's not good. It doesn't look great, right? Again, the video I watched, it looked perfect. Here, for whatever reason, it doesn't look as good as it should. Again, it could be just the angle. It could be, many different things, right? But the reason why they needed to update the head sculpt was, number one, way more facial hair, as you can see, right? Number two, the hair slightly different as well, right? And then the glasses also changed. They changed the shape a little bit, right? They used to be more like blind person glasses. Now these are a little bit, slightly different. One thing Ernesto wanted to find out about the figure was, how come Hot Toys? Oh no, this is exactly what he said. Is Hot Toys going out of business? Why did they not add the rolling eyes to the Daredevil figure? Can you answer that, Rudy?
Me?
Yeah.
It's the same reason they didn't give it to Kane.
Why?
Don't get me canceled, man. Don't get me canceled.
No, Ernesto said. Ernesto asked.
Ernesto, yeah, I like how you're blaming Ernesto for this one.
No. He did. He said he
I know.
when I shared the post, he said, "Where's the rolling eyes?" Like a real non-collector.
Oh my god.
Don't be blindophobic.
Oh man.
Unreal. All right, so Rudy, how would you pose the figure? What is exciting to you about the figure?
You know what? The sculpt is an improvement. I don't think it's 100% there, like you said, but I think it's a huge improvement from the one we got with She-Hulk. For me though, it's the cowl. You know, you've got to pose him up with the cowl. That cowl looks great, and the angry face too.
Yes.
Right. It looks awesome.
Yeah. Now, question: you having the maroon one in the back, right?
Yeah.
As you know, we had some battle damage mouth plates on that one.
Yeah. Here you go.
Here we don't have any. Right. All we have is. Hold on. Let me pull it up.
Let's see.
Oh, there you go. There's the battle damage. So, do you expect, as you can see, right? We didn't get any with this one yet. Do you expect the other releases, which, guys, I'm telling you right now, you heard it here first, we are getting at least two more Daredevil figures, at least. Okay. So as you can see, like I said, there's no battle damaging here like that one. Do you expect them to do, because I expect this, I expect a battle damage head sculpt, right? As you can see, the She-Hulk version, clean. The Netflix version, we never got a head sculpt.
Right.
And now we're getting a second head sculpt that's clean. And we're getting no bloodied, no battle damage mouth plates. For the next Daredevil, which they already showed him wearing the
black
suit or whatever. Yeah, the black suit. I don't know what it's called. The midnight suit, I want to say, something like that.
With the DD and the
Yes, yep. The really that's the sexiest suit, I think.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Do you expect any blood battle damaging with any of the upcoming Daredevil figures?
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I would not be surprised.
Do you expect it as it's a must? Look at, for example, the first episode, he was bloodied up. Every time he fights, he ends up bloodied up. He takes off his helmet.
He's beat up. He's bruised and battered. Yeah,
beat up. Correct. So that's where I'm getting that from, right? It appears on the show. And what does Hot Toys usually do? Whether it's show accurate or movie accurate, right? So if it appears on the show, we are getting it. So that's the only reason I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I one thing that I wouldn't be surprised if we get is the suit from the first episode. Right, and spoilers for anybody that hasn't watched yet, but I mean it's the first scene, right? So I don't think it's really spoiling much. But his first fight with Bullseye, right? It's a battle damage version. That's where, because we're getting that cowl right on the stand that has the ear,
the missing horn,
right? So something wearing that, and remember, there's a scene where he's literally got knives all stuck up in his suit. So.
Right,
we've seen Hot Toys like do battle damage versions of things. I wouldn't be surprised.
Deadpool.
Exactly, and again, this is, I think a lot of Marvel fans are saying, you know, it's a really good show. It's really amazing what they're doing.
Very good.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Hot Toys does a limited edition battle damage version of this, all bloodied up with where he could actually wear the cowl, the damaged cowl. And I again, right, blades all around stuck in his suit. That would be awesome.
Or at least the holes like they did for Deadpool, right? The rip on the suit, and then to be able to insert the knives, that'd be crazy.
Right. Because that was a great scene where he's like literally exhausted, and then he's using the billy club to rip those knives off the suit, the Kevlar. That'd be awesome. But I wouldn't be surprised to see another version of this. I don't know that he's gonna wear another version of the suit this season, but like you said, we're definitely going to get that black suit. Everybody's going to want
how many, I didn't even know we were getting multiple seasons. How many seasons are we expecting?
Well, they're filming the second season now.
Oh, I didn't even know. Okay.
And that's where the Shadowland suit and credit to Moose.
Right.
Yeah. Gotcha. That's where we're seeing that one. So I think we're going to get that one here.
Right.
Oh,
so that makes sense. So yeah, so this is going to be like a Mandalorian style. event of releases. So you're gonna have your season 1 Daredevil stuff, then you're gonna have a
Right.
season 2 there. So that makes sense. That makes sense because, I was already like I already told you guys, we are getting multiple Daredevils. Period. My thought was, how, right? So look at Loki. What happened with Loki? Loki was what?
Lokis.
Season 1.
Yeah, we got what? President Loki. We got classic Loki.
Sylvie, TVA.
Sylvie, TVA Loki. Right. We got a decent number.
God Loki. No,
God Loki from season 2. That was the only one we got from season 2, but still, great figure.
So it looks like that's what they're going to be doing, guys. Right? Multiple seasons. I had no idea that they were doing a second one already. So that's very exciting. So then that tells you that we're most likely going to get Muse. Right? We're most likely going to get what's his name?
I think we're going to get a Punisher.
Oh, we're definitely getting a Punisher.
Because Punisher is supposed to make an appearance again without the beard. And Hot Toys, I don't think they're going to pass an opportunity to do another Punisher figure.
No, they're doing the Punisher. They're gonna do what I was getting to was the villain. So Muse, you're gonna get what's his name? Bullseye, 100%. If we're getting into seasons now. Right. Again, I thought Muse is a must, right? That
Muse would be great, and in the comics too, he's one of those like great villains. So
so Muse,
I wouldn't be shocked.
It's a very sexy looking figure too. Can you imagine all that black and white on your shelf next to the bright red of Daredevil? It's going to be gorgeous
with the red on the eyes too, right? On the Muse mask.
Absolutely, no, it's going to be a sick figure if they decide to do it, which I think they will. Also, the Kingpin. That is a must figure. Again, for seasons. If we're getting seasons of the show, why wouldn't they do it? Why do you think they won't?
I know I want them to do it. Like but
why do you think they won't? Because you're making a face like you don't think so, or like you think there's a possibility they won't do it. Why do you think that?
I mean, it's kind of a simple figure, right? It would be a simple figure. Like you're just getting a guy in a suit, right? That's pretty much it.
It's all about likeness permission.
It's all about the likeness on that one.
That's it.
Right.
So as I'm saying, why don't you think what about that figure, that character, or that actor makes you think, nah?
I think they're gonna do the suited figures first, right? The like the Daredevil, the Muse would be in all likelihood Bullseye, because those are just visually more appealing to people, and I think they think those are going to pop a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the meaning of a Kingpin, they know what that means too, though.
I hope so. I hope they do, because I want a Kingpin. I would love a Hot Toys Kingpin.
So you're saying they're going to be focusing more on costumes than regular people.
I think so.
Yeah,
but look, because the other thought I had too, especially with the unmasked sculpt, is, I wouldn't be surprised if Hot Toys gives us a lawyer version of Matt Murdock either at some point, right? We've seen So-So do it. Hot Toys might be gearing up as well, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
That's another version that we could, because remember, they're gonna reuse this new head sculpt too, right? They didn't use the She-Hulk head sculpt for anything else. Right. And again, thank God.
Yeah, I think they realized people were not happy with that one.
Exactly. So thank God they did it. But this is better. Right.
Oh, yeah.
So does that mean they're going to be reusing this one? Most likely. Why? Well, again, he only appeared on the She-Hulk, the couple episodes looking that way. There's no need to reuse that ever again, because he doesn't look like that anymore. Right. So now this one, more facial hair, right? Updated. But one thing that Hot Toys hasn't done is, like you said, a lawyer version of Matt Murdock. So I think that there's going to be a point in time when they have to focus on that. So we're going to get Kingpin dressed in a suit. We're going to get the lawyer dressed in a suit. So I think we're going to, like you're saying right now, they're going to be focusing on costumes. But again, I think eventually they're going to be doing suits too. They have to.
I hope so. Like you said, Kingpin is one of those, not just what, he's a guy in a suit, but what he represents in the series and as a character. I mean, how can you not, right? But Hot Toys is just random sometimes. And look, I'm hoping this is because we've seen them kind of do some figures from, like you said, Loki was probably their biggest MCU Marvel show. But look at what they did with Ahsoka. We got like how many releases? Like 15 releases from Ahsoka. Yeah, so I think there's a possibility with this show, with how well it's being received overall, that they could go deeper in the line.
Yeah, but think about it. Do you really think, because remember that characters in Star Wars are completely different than characters in like a Marvel thing? Meaning, again, this is just my opinion because you guys know I don't really know much about Star Wars like that, but I feel like everybody that appears on anything Star Wars has a meaningful role, has a meaningful part in whatever the storyline. Everybody just seems to know everybody that appears on everything from, I guess, whether it's Clone Wars, whether it's whatever. But here you only get the main people. You know what I mean? Like not every side person matters in the story.
Right.
Here is just the heroes and the villains. That's it. But for example, I'm going to give you an example. Ahsoka, right? You had that main witch that was controlling the other witches. Right? So apparently, I forget the name. I forget the name. But we even thought the Hot Toys was going to make her.
We thought so, yeah, because they were going so far into it, right?
Exactly. So something like that, right? I have no idea who the hell that is. A lot of people knew, what her purpose was on the show, who she was supposed to be, what her role was. To me, if that were a Marvel show, who the hell is that person?
Right. But we're not asking, but that would be like us saying, like, let's get a Foggy or a Karen Page, right? Like, or Karen. Like, we don't need those characters, right? But we're talking about Kingpin. You're talking about Punisher. You're talking about Muse. Even White Tiger, man. Like, even though he was only in a couple of episodes and only really wore the suit in that like security footage scene, and then in his final scene on the show, right? Like, they still as characters made an impression. And I think if you're a Marvel fan, you know who those characters are.
Yeah, but it was so quick. It was so quick, man. That's why it was such a short-lived character. It was so, he appeared a couple seconds wearing the suit,
right.
So that's why I don't think so. Again, the suit didn't look great. It didn't look like a really cool comic book suit at all. I didn't think so at all.
Because it was like homemade,
homemade, right? Exactly.
Like the Spider-Man homemade suit, right? That we got with the Tom Holland figure, where it's like literally pajamas, and sweatpants and all that, and a hoodie. Look, I don't think they're gonna make White Tiger. I think we're gonna get White Tiger from some third-party company, just like we got Cowboy, Deadpool, and all that. If we don't get Muse from Hot Toys, that's fine. I think we're definitely getting Punisher. Punisher is a must because they've already done him before, right? They already did him from season 2 of Daredevil. We got Daredevil and we got Punisher. So I think those two are guaranteed. Can we get anybody else? I hope so. I just don't know if Hot Toys will go that far.
Well, do you expect? I mean, I don't know if it would make sense, but do you expect an Elektra from that show at all? Did she appear in the first seasons or?
Well, Elektra showed up. Elektra showed up in what, season 2, right? So, I would have loved to have gotten her in the season 2 look at the end too, but
so there's a possibility then that they can make her, right?
Hot Toys can make anything, but they didn't, right? And So ended up making her, because they went deep into that line. But I don't know. I Hot Toys is interesting with Marvel, right? Like some of the movies, like look at again Thor: Love and Thunder. Who thought we were going to get Gore or King Valkyrie, right? I thought it was going to be Thor and Mighty Thor, and that was it. And they went far deeper into the line than we thought, right? Then you got other movies where we only get, again, I'm going to bring it up, Black Panther. Say what you will, the thing almost hit $1 billion. It was a huge hit for Marvel,
and they didn't go deep at all.
And they gave us one figure,
2 figures.
One. We didn't even get the second one.
No. I meant the Black Panther. That legacy version one. I thought it was. They included that as part of that.
Maybe, but yeah, right. Like we didn't even get the villain from that movie, right? So who knows with Hot Toys? and then like what is it, Andor? We're all hoping we're gonna get figures from Andor season 2, but season 1, nothing, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that we can guess. Hot Toys is still a little bit of a mystery, but I think Punisher is a given.
No,
Punisher
it's
is the other one.
100%. 100%.
Right. And season 2 Daredevil and that black suit, that's a must. I think that's coming. They already did the yellow suit from She-Hulk. They're not
Correct.
going to miss that opportunity.
Correct. So we got Netflix, we got She-Hulk, we need Shadowlands, we got the red one, and I think there's one more, which is the white one. After the white one, that's it. The old white one.
Yeah, because I don't think he's going to wear the yellow suit in the MCU again.
Absolutely
I think that was a She-Hulk thing, and that was it.
Not. Correct. Absolutely not. That's not.
Right. And you see the cowl in his display of them, but that's the most we're ever going to see of that thing ever again.
That's it. It's done. Caleb, my friend, welcome. Thank you for being here, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. There's 36 of you guys here. Thank you guys for being here as well. Let me make sure. Where am I? Oh, we got Chris. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Let me catch up with you guys. Hot Toys makes these actors look 1,000. What is that? Tihis? What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Carlos is for Carlos. And Carter says, Hot Toys. Wait, why is this repeating? What's happening?
Oh, I think he missed. He said he wanted to say makes this actors look 1,000 times better than they look in person.
So he corrected the.
Yeah.
I want to Into Spider Kingpin could be. Oh, could you imagine those things are humongous? That thing would be humongous.
That guy was massive, right? He was.
Valkyrie, welcome. Speak of the devil. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. I'm already pissed off with the new Guardians of the Galaxy Superman movie. What the hell?
Give it a chance, Uncarded.
Let's see. Hey, Moose. This guy knows everybody. I don't even think he's been here before. Foggy's very important.
Oh, he is 100%. But are we going to get a figure from him from Hot Toys?
Never.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Never ever. Hot Toys needs to give us Muse too. Yeah, absolutely.
I want a Muse. Muse would be, man.
That's a must. Do you think they're going to make multiple versions of the Punisher for his appearance in Daredevil? Rudy said he'll show up clean shaven as well. Both. I mean, it's a possibility. The fact that there are multiple seasons, right, doesn't mean that we're going to get 2 Punishers, right, 1 per season. I can tell you it's not going to happen. But we're getting definitely 1. We already got him clean shaven from the Netflix show. We can get him bearded up. Or remember that there were 2 versions of him made by third party with 2 different hairstyles.
Yeah.
Right. Remember, he had the Caesar cut right forward, and then he had the bush on top. Right. So that's another thing that they could do. We got from Netflix, right? We got the high top. We never got the forward look. The reason I know the forward look from is what is it? Present Toys? I want to say Present Toys made, right? They made
they made
2 versions. They made 2 versions of him. They made the high up hair, right? The high top hair, and then they made the forward. So I bought the Caesar cut hair.
Yeah, because somebody made the version of him from Punisher season 2 where he's got the jeans, the boots, and he's got the vest on, right?
That's one I have. That's
the haircut, and he's got the bloodied up
that's exactly what I got. I got that one because Hot Toys. I got that one because the other figure that they made was the same exact look as the Hot Toys one. So I said, I already have that one. Let me get this one. And the figure's actually very, very decent. No,
it isn't.
Very crappy body, but the accessories and the not the accessories, the way it looks, the outfit, very, very cool. If you body swap that thing, it'll be perfect.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get the reason I say we're gonna get the clean cut is because I think he only shows up with the beard in the scene from the episode where we first meet him, right? This season where he has the big conversation with Matt, right? He's bearded, but then in the shots that have leaked from all the other episodes, he's wearing the Punisher vest, and
Oh, so
he's all clean cut now. So it's almost like he cleans up.
Right.
So
that makes
if you see him in action with all the guns, which is what you expect from Punisher, in that look, I think that's what they're going to give it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get him clean shaven again, but he has to look different. It'll be updated. It'll be better, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, at least, hopefully they nail it, which the
Well,
first
it's a
one was
different.
great.
Yeah, it's a different look because right in the original one he's got the leather trench coat, right? This one he's got like just right. It looks like he's wearing an army uniform, right? He's even got the U.S. flag, the ghosted in flag. So yeah,
The present toys Dark Vigilantes Peak. Yeah, I got the one.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Rudy wants to go. You got to get off the fence on this Buzz Lightyear and go ahead and grab.
No, it's I've been thinking about it, Thule. Trust me, I've talked to Fabs about it too. But it's one of those that it's like, where am I going to put him in the collection? Because he's going to stand by himself. He's going to get a corner Magic case just for him.
Next up, Play Toys Woody. Duh. What do you mean where?
Well, I don't have that figure.
Oh man! All right, so Rudy, 1 to 10, and how
10.
many and how many are you getting?
10, just one, but he's a 10. This was as soon as I saw this, and I love the show. Right, the show is awesome. So as soon as this one went up, there was no doubt, there was no waiting. He was eligible for thank you code eligible, and I was like, done.
Yes,
he's coming home.
Wait, did I order him? Because I've been pre-ordering a bunch of stuff. Like yesterday, for example, I pre-ordered White Ahsoka, and she came out today. Let me see.
Yo, I still have a ton of stuff that I have on my list. Like I haven't ordered Winter Soldier 2.0 Captain America. Right?
What's
I
that?
still have the just Steve Rogers, right? Captain America figure, the 2.0 Winter Soldier version.
Winter Soldier version.
The
Oh,
strike
you're talking about with the blue suit.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna get him, but I just haven't pre-ordered him yet.
See, I'm gonna tell you what I just pre-ordered. So I got Deadpool, I got Purple Rain, which it's my second one because I got one from Jeremy. Ahsoka the White. Sauvage Press, Plo Koon, and Mr. Freeze were my last orders.
I have to get that Mr. Freeze.
I've been pre-ordering, a bunch of old stuff too because that's I'm trying to work it. So we'll see what happens. Anthony, long time, welcome. Guys, if you got the chance, you can bring up King Shark's outfit, please. Fit material looks good or not. What? Guys,
there was that King Shark outfit, yeah.
No, I know, but I don't know what he's trying to like. I'm trying to read trying to make sense of what he's saying. Guys, if you got the chance, can you bring up the King Shark outfit, please? Fit material looks good or not?
Do we think it looks good or not?
Yeah, no, I was gonna pull that up too because it does look cool. What do you think of these teeth?
That's awesome, man. Hot Toys has been killing those kind of grimacing like
with
looks.
the teeth have been coming out really nice.
They've been doing great work with that. That's impressive.
Yeah, the teeth look very good. What was the last figure that just came out that had really nice teeth too?
Oh.
That I pointed out the teeth and I was like, yo, look at these teeth.
Oh, the Red Hulk.
The Red Hulk, yes.
The Red Hulk.
Beautiful denture.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. But look at this. This suit, the texture of the suit is going to be beautiful, guys.
It looks great. This looks awesome.
Yeah, this thing is going to be beautiful. This thing's going to be badass. You know what we need with this? I don't know if you guys agree or not, but we need a walking stick with the figure. And I'm going to tell you why it sounds stupid to even say, because he's not going to be walking around with a walking stick as Daredevil, in the suit. That's why we don't get it, right?
Right.
But it would be nice if they gave us like a special edition walking stick. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe just me.
Not with this one, but definitely like I could see them doing that with the lawyer version.
Oh, with the lawyer. Well, obviously, yeah, exactly. With the lawyer. If they don't give us that with the lawyer, I'm boycotting.
No, that would be ridiculous.
I'd be like, no more hot toys. No more. Yeah, exactly. No more hot toys for me. All right, so we get the blogger photos of the Ahsoka the White, as you can see. So again, beautiful. This is my favorite part right here. This is how I'm going to be displaying her with this face. Obviously, the original one, the one from the Mandalorian show. We only got one head sculpt for that, so she's staying with that one. This one, which is the same one we already got. One thing, guys, that I mentioned earlier, right? We're getting now metal joints, so metal elbow joints. We got metal. What was the other thing that they added, Rudy? It was the elbow
Wrist joints
and
and ankle
the
joints.
foot pegs and the ankle, right? The foot pegs
Yeah.
as well are metal. So again, they realize the mistake of the original Ahsoka, right? Everybody, which was a shame because that figure after the original Clone Wars Ahsoka, that was the real, the real lifelike Ahsoka coming out, right? Rosario Dawson's version, and the fact that it came out defective with the arms that are breaking easily, that's very upsetting. So they realized, well, we got to fix this. We got to make it better. And they went all out with the metal. You can't beat metal. Obviously, it's more sturdy. Metal doesn't really break like that, at least from pressure, like these pieces of plastic break. So I'm assuming this was their goal to prevent any problems. How do you feel about that, Rudy, that they went that route?
I think it's a great step, for them, because I mean, not only that, but even the Deadpool, right? The original ankle joint, people were having breaks with that one, right? And think about all the other joints that we've gotten breaks with, right? What was it? The Groot, the teenage Groot, right? The leg just popped off.
Oh, the leg was completely like dissolved off. Yeah.
Right. And look, if you've been in this hobby long enough, we've all had wrist peg breaks, right? And when you're trying to, force pull out a hand, right, from the peg, the worst thing you could see is when you see the plastic and you start seeing the white line because you've pushed it a little too far, a break is imminent. That's the worst. So I think this is great, right? Metal pegs. I think that's just, it's a high stress joint, and I think it's definitely a great thing. So it's a great upgrade.
Thank you for being here. Yeah, no, that's even though Hot Toys gives us extras, it's still a pain in the ass. It's still a pain to break wrist pegs, especially if you break a leg, a foot peg. Forget it. We don't get extra of those, so that's painful. How do you feel about the figure? How do you like the figure? Did you pre-order the figure? Are you canceling the figure?
No. So this is one of the last 4 Star Wars figures I have on order. I think I'm waiting last payment on this one. So I love it. I think she came out great, right? The white look just definitely stands out for me. So I'm happy that I got her in order. I'm looking forward to getting her in hand, and yeah, no, I'm happy. So she's definitely coming home.
You know what the crazy thing is? This is exactly the same figure. Like this white thing here, we got it already in gray, which is the one she wore, right? The pants are, it's the same figure in a different color. Literally.
But now are you going to blame Hot Toys for that, or is that more of a
no,
Star Wars Ahsoka getting a little lazy?
This has absolutely nothing to do with Hot Toys, because this is how she appeared on the show. It's not their fault that she appeared like this on the show. So no, that's not what I mean. But it's crazy, right? The same exact figure with a different color outfit. Obviously, it makes her look completely different, so it's fine. But it's just crazy, right? It's just like literally the same exact thing, just a different color. But again, I'm buying, like I said, I pre-ordered it yesterday. This thing is beautiful.
No, she looks great.
With the angry face, that's the only face I'm excited for. Look at that.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
Beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. I don't know about those teeth though. She looks like she's got chiclets in her mouth, but look at that. I think they messed up that a little bit, but we'll see.
It's not as good as some of the figures we're seeing now, right? But yeah,
look at that.
Especially not having the original. For me, I'm happy to just have this one.
No, she's gorgeous. Look at that. Beautiful, just like Rosario Dawson. She looks exactly like it. Again, she looks exactly like the original release, but just a different color. I love, what I love? I love the gauntlets on this one. You know what I mean? They remind me of like a samurai, like a ninja or something like this here.
Whole thing, right? Because even her boots have that like ninja look as well.
Yep, exactly. I love that look. It's like
that's a great look.
Like a ninja, like a samurai, like something really, really like martial art ish.
Yeah, no.
And she's just.
And I like that I like the fact that the lightsabers are white, right? Like again, it's a little different.
And now, question for you: do you like, for example, like I love this look. I have my original one with this on. Do you like her like that, or do you like the arms exposed?
You know, I like that look, but this one, but I think I like the arms exposed, right? I think that looks.
Look, she looks jacked up. Look at her.
Yeah, no, and I want to see
Right.
the gauntlets. You know, the
Yes.
forearm protection. I want to see that. I think that's what really stands out.
See, I'm asking you because like I said, mine's all covered like this, right? But
Right.
like I love this look. It looks really sexy. When you remove that though, this is like more battle ready. You know what I mean? Like she's ready to fight.
Right.
So
and if you have her in an action pose, like she's gonna look great.
So I don't know how I'm going to display her, how I want to display her, but it looks like if I'm putting the angry face on, I can't have her looking like this with the angry face on. You know what I mean? Doesn't make sense.
No, she's got to be a
Because-
little bit more dynamic with that angry face.
Well, no, I mean like the arms got to be exposed, like she's ready to fight. At least with the
okay.
angry face. You know what I mean? So we'll see. 1 to 10, Rudy.
I'll give it a 10. I'm not shy with my 10s.
See, it's beautiful. What would you change if anything?
I don't know that I change anything, and that's probably the biggest thing right now. No, I think she looks great. I think she turned out fine.
Look at that. How do you like that head sculpt?
I think it's great. I do. I see the likeness to Rosario Dawson. The eyes look fantastic, right?
Yep.
The texture on the skin. This is awesome.
Perfect.
This is great.
This is a perfect release.
Hot Toys did
I
a
would
great
change
job on
the
this.
price. He said I would change the price.
All right, fine.
Unbelievable. Hello, I've been alerted. You may have an issue with pegs. Press 1 for English. Oh my god.
Ernesto, stop trolling us.
Oh my god. Press 1 for English. Press 2 for Bangladesh. This guy. Oh my god. Rudy, what'd you say? You pre-order her? You said you got her, right?
Yeah, I got her. She's one of my last 4 that I have Star Wars figures on order.
All right, let's see. We got one more beauty before we go to everything else. So we get this guy now, Rudy, fully out now. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Are you getting into this line at all?
No. I Spider again, right? I get that it's from the video game, but I'm trying to stay away from it. Especially now. I'll tell you my biggest issue now is the fact that Hot Toys is doing the comic book line. And like Agent Venom, Doom, right? The fact that they're doing all of those characters now, that's a problem for me, right? Like Iron Patriot, because they're making them fit in with the MCU. So do I need the video game figures? I mean, yeah, it would fit in fine, but it's too much, right? I've got to... Hot Toys has me hooked with that comic line as well. So
yeah, no, those are going to be great, and it's just the beginning too. You know,
Oh, yeah.
especially for those types of characters. Also, guys, for those who may not know, these claws here are reused from the Spider-Man 2099 Across the Spider-Verse figures. So for those who saw or have the figure, right? Remember, he comes with a blue claw and a red claw, right? That attached to his fingers. Right. Well, this is the exact same thing, but here you attach it to the entire hand. It looks like, or at least another finger in the middle of the hand. So another reused part, for the figure. So it's nothing that they did specifically for it. But how do you feel about the color combination, Rudy? How do you feel about the accessories that you're seeing?
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I don't know. This is an interesting one because I don't feel strongly about it one way or another. Right? Like I saw this get announced and it wasn't like like some other figures where I'm like my mind is blown and I'm like, "Oh my god, I have to have it." But it wasn't like this Stormtrooper, cherry blossom version where I just started laughing because it was so bad. It was like somewhere in the middle. It's like, all right, I can either take it or leave it.
Adam 12, welcome. Good evening. Nice. Ahsoka line has been one banger after another. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, they made so many figures from that line. I didn't even realize. Okay.
Yeah.
Had Ahsoka, right? You have Hera, you have Chopper, you have Marek, you have Shin,
Balin.
you have Balin, you have Rex, you have Thrawn, you have
Anakin.
zombie what do you call it? Zombie Death Trooper, you have Anakin, you have young Ahsoka, you have Night Trooper, you have Enoch. My God, that's like what?
Thrawn. Yeah, Thrawn.
I mentioned Thrawn. I
Oh,
mentioned
you
Thrawn.
mentioned him. Sorry, I missed
Yeah.
it.
Oh my God, man. Yo, it's like 15 figures.
Fabs, congratulations, by the way.
Did I?
I think you hit it.
Let's see, guys. Let's see. 10,001. I did it. I did it, guys. Wait. Let me do it for myself. It's allowed. It's allowed. It's allowed. Wait a minute. Guys, for those who don't know, just very quickly.
Zoom in. Look at that. 10,000.
Wait, guys. 10,001. Look at that. Live on stream. We did it. So you know what that means, guys. You know what that means. So that's great news, guys. So obviously, now that I'm at 10K, that means I'm untouchable. So can you imagine? All right. So Rudy, what would you change on this figure? Do you like the Spider-Man 2 video game line at all? Do you care for it? Is there anything or any of those figures appealing? And what do you think about that 3-foot Venom?
The 3-foot Venom looks great. I'll tell you this one is. I mean, the purple thing. I think the color variation is a little. I get where it's from, but it's just not for me. The only one that's been really interesting that I've been tempted to get is the white anti-Venom suit, right? Because that looks cool. That looks cool, and that's the only one that I've been like. I think that could fit in well with like the Agent Venom that's coming out the comic line and the MCU figures I have. That's the only one that's been really tempting because I can't see that one coming from the comic line or the MCU anytime soon, if at all. So that's been the tempting one. But other than that, I'm trying to stay away from the video game. It's just too much. So and I've got so many
Yeah, go ahead. You didn't get a single one from a Spider-Man 2 video game. Wow, you know how that black suited Peter Parker one,
the superior one. Trust me.
Well, no, not the superior. No, not the superior. The black one. The black symbiote suit. The black one.
That one looks great.
Oh,
the superior suit one.
Oh, the
too.
Superior sick.
Too. Oh, the red and black looked amazing, but I'm like, some self control, right? Some restraint.
No,
have to show it.
It's called you don't like Spider-Man. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend Ernesto. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I get a free both Han. He meant Hoth Han. Figman, my friend, welcome. Look at you finally reappearing from the darkness and the shadows. Where are you?
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you for being here as well. Thank you, guys. 10K, you're welcome. And they just subscribed and they dropped you back down to 9K. Imagine.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? That'd be horrible.
You should take a snapshot of your 10K just to have it.
I know, just in case. I'd quit immediately. Carlos said, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Christian, this is for Christian. Big Dog, oh my God, with the super chat. Plato Ploma. Colombians don't play. Congratulations. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And this is for you. Where are you? Where are you always?
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, you.
No, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, seriously, you.
No, seriously, thank you, bro.
No, for real, you.
No, thank you.
So I'm gonna make a prediction, guys. So I'm gonna say that I will be at 100K in $2026. Guaranteed. Remember this. You heard it here first. 10,000 subscribe means like, oh, he said it. Oh, he repeated it. I get a free Horse Han, send it quickly, please. This guy, no respect. Diecast giveaway time. Imagine. Need a Jin Urso giveaway. This guy, he's only looking for grail giveaways. Oh man, he came to the channel for the grail. Wakanda forever. Chadwick, my friend, welcome. Hello. Thank you for being here. Play this guy because 10K there. Yeah. All right. So this is how I feel about my 10K right now. You ready? Oh man. Matt Planet, how are you, my friend? I didn't even see you. Did I see you here? I didn't even say hello to you. Welcome. Nice to see you. Where are you? Hello. Welcome, my friend. Carlos says, so now that you got 10K free raffle for all, it's not a free raffle, my friend. It's a giveaway. Join the raffle. Yes, guys, I have a raffle going. It was 13 spots. There's only 9 spots left. It's filling very quickly. Oh, Christian with the super chat. Thank you, my friends. And congrats. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it as always. And this is for you. We honor the Hot Toys.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, you.
No, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, seriously, you.
No, seriously, thank you, bro.
No, for real, you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, guys. So I think 100,000 is very doable by the end of the year, beginning of 2026. So it's going to get very, very crazy, guys, because the moment I get my plaque, it's going to be hanging from my neck, just so you know, okay? I don't want to hear nothing. All right. So now, Rudy, since you haven't been here in a couple months, we are going to go back in time, okay, to get your take on a couple of things. So number one, this beauty here. Tell us everything. I've spoken on it already, so I'm good. So you tell us how you feel. Again, Deadpool. Marvel is your world. Go.
I love it, man. I mean, what's not to love about this? You know what's funny though? Like the battle damage suit is more for like the end of the movie, right? Because he's a little more clean. So I've already been thinking about
Well, remember there's two battle damage scenes. Remember the beginning, he got battle damage.
That's true.
And then the end was also battle damage.
Right.
So.
I love the way they did the battle damage here, and obviously getting those Wolverine accessories, awesome. You know what I would have liked? I would have liked that if they had done the Wolverine endoskeleton with like so that you could put it together and have it like sit next to him. Like
wait, say it again. What about the endoskeleton?
Like I would have loved because they're giving you all these components of the adamantium.
Like the body.
Like it would have been great to have him like able to sit next to him, since you're getting the sculpt and the spine and everything. But
look at that! They give you a whole tendon.
That's awesome. Listen, this is a great figure, and the fact that you're getting 3 sculpts, right? The masked one obviously is great.
That's
the
a lot.
Unmasked looks great.
Yep.
The unmasked looks great, and then I didn't expect that they were going to give you the partially masked one.
Correct.
And that
one's sexy.
Great.
This one right here.
This one looks great.
Yep, this is sexy as hell right here.
I do like the light up feature, the diorama with the TVA portal. Like
will you use that? Will you use that now?
Oh, I'll use it 100%. 100%, I'm going to use it because it's
the light up function.
Yeah, compared to the previous version we got, which was just like a plastic like thin plastic thing, right?
Yeah, it was like a cheap.
It was cheap. Yeah. It was cheap. This looks like it's solid, like a piece of solid plastic.
It's thicker. It's definitely thicker.
Well, yeah, because the other thing was hollow. It was literally like a box, like a plastic box that you had to assemble.
Correct.
so it worked fine for what
It
it
was
was,
like a
but
thing.
this
It
looks
was like a
great.
thing you had to like shape and connect yourself type.
Yep,
Stuff.
yep. This is great. This is great.
Yeah.
I just go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I just don't know how I'm gonna display it. This was 100% gonna come home, and I haven't ordered it, but because I was at work, but I'm probably gonna order him tonight. But I just don't know how I'm gonna display him right now.
Yeah. We got a super chat from Michael. Thank you, my friend. Says 9.950 peasants and 50 real ones. I wish we had 50 real ones. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. This is for you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, you.
No, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, seriously, you.
No, seriously, thank you, bro.
No, for real, you.
No, thank you.
Thank you, my friend. It says, tech support, which button to press to get Fabs to give away something for free? This guy. I need 3. Yeah, no, I'm telling you. So now this is how I'm going to be displaying my Rudy. So like I tell you guys all the time, this head sculpt here is going on the first release, the one that came with Baby, right? Because how many Deadpools masked up do we need?
Right, you've already got
We've
like
had
a bunch.
every
You got
single
Deadpool 1, Deadpool
Yeah.
2 had multiple versions, right? So
They're
Yeah.
all masked, right? And on top of that, I already have 2 actual Deadpool head sculpts, one clean
Right.
and one battle damage. So I'm good, right? So I need something different. So the red one, the new one is going to get this, and then the battle damage is going to get the head sculpt. Oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good, guys. You have no idea.
Somebody had a shot because since it's already released overseas, right? They did the 300 figures that got released. Somebody had a shot of that unmasked sculpt, and it looks so good.
You can see Ryan Reynolds in there. It's crazy. You know when something's really good when it's an actor playing a role,
right,
with a mask on, okay, and you can still see the actor, okay. That is crazy. That head sculpt, you see Ryan Reynolds 100%. Let me see. Somebody just said something. What did I say? I ordered him earlier today. Exotic, my friend. Welcome. How are you? Hello. There's Basura Pool on the screen. Basura Pool. This guy. No respect. So what is the one thing, the most exciting thing of this figure for you, Rudy?
I mean, it's just a great looking figure. It's the Wolverine look, right? From that was such an iconic opening, right? With the endoskeletons, the claws, right? The fact that you get all these components. I mean, even just to have them like thrown around while he's standing with like the claws, it's gonna be awesome.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, right. You can have them laying there. You could have them just laying on the ground. Yep. Would you ever display it like this with the nunchucks? No, right?
I don't think so. I think I'm gonna want to go with what everybody's gonna want to go with, which are the blades coming out. You know?
Yeah.
That's the look.
That's one look you're never gonna get ever again. You know what I mean?
No, that was very unique to this. It's great, like to recreate all these scenes, but this is
gorgeous, man. This is so. Why didn't you pick up the third-party accessory kit?
You know, I forget why.
I didn't even know where to get. I didn't even know who was selling it.
Because I think Kit had it for a little bit, but
I didn't see it.
I think they sold out quick.
Too.
Yeah, it was expensive, and I think they sold out quick.
Oh, okay.
Barry, what happened?
No, I was gonna say Barry just got it. Barry just posted it on his what do you call it? On his TikTok. That's how I saw it.
No,
I got them.
I was thinking about getting them, and then I couldn't find them. I think I did find them finally. They were sold out, and I was like thinking about hunting it down, but with how busy everything got, and I'm glad I didn't, because then Hot Toys came out. They teased this one, remember, in that video with Ryan Reynolds. So I at that point I was like pretty much like, no, I'll wait. I'm glad I did.
That's another reason why, like, it is what it is. If we're already getting it, why do you need another set? You know what I mean? For what?
Right.
Well, that's like if you're not getting the figure, that I understand why you're getting that kit. But if you're getting the figure, why do you need to buy that? You know what I mean?
Right. Like if you said, I just want the first one, I don't want to get the second version, and all I want is the claws, that made sense. So I could definitely understand that. But I'm all in for the second version. So yeah, I think he's awesome.
No respect. Oh no, I mentioned cool LED TV portal, awesome edition.
Yeah.
Those bones have bendy wire inside. Ooh, that's nice.
For the tendon, right? So
That's
the
that's
tendons
right.
that's
bend,
cool.
bend. Yeah, to bend.
Yeah.
It was on Instagram, and it's great, really. Oh, it was on Instagram. See, I didn't see that. I didn't see that at all. I ordered 2 custom Wolvie skeleton. Oh, maybe if you don't need the spare one, and you're my friend, maybe.
As a gift for hitting 10,000.
I know exactly. Instead of always taking, why don't you give something? Gotta go, crew. Everyone be well. Congratulations. Thank you, my friend. Have a good night. I'll see you later.
Take care, Rob.
I'll talk to you later, Rob. All right, guys. So now 1 to 10, Rudy. Look at
10.
that. Look how badass.
10. I'm in a good mood tonight. I'm giving everything 10.
Look at that. Look at that.
That looks great. Look, I mean, that looks awesome.
Beautiful. This is beautiful.
Mhm.
Look, all Ryan Reynolds right here. Look at that. How sick is that?
That looks great.
There is
That looks
no way
awesome.
you can't tell me that's not Ryan Reynolds in here.
No, the likeness
Insane.
here is perfect. Yeah.
This is
This is
beautiful.
great.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You can't go wrong with this. Look at that, the rolling eyes. Let me tell you guys something. You guys know that I don't touch the rolling eyes for any of my figures. The Joker, though, right? The imposter Joker is perfectly fine looking forward. But the purple coat Joker, for whatever reason, he looks very funky looking forward. So what I did was I actually, yesterday, again, I pulled out the back piece. I pointed the eyes looking to one side and then had his face look down and like tilt his head a little bit. Let me tell you something. Just that little bit of tweaking changed the entire figure completely. Just from the eyes. So now, not now, like I've always understood why the eyes are important, what you can do to the eyes, how much you can change an entire pose with the eyes. I just don't bother because you guys know I don't pose. But I'm like, yo, this figure looks ugly just looking forward. So I said, let me do something. And I did. So I went back to the original photos of the prototype photos or the sideshow photos. And one of the looks, and I said, let me try. Gorgeous. It's staying like that forever. I'm never selling that thing. The portrait looks like Andy. This guy. What were you gonna say, Rudy?
I was gonna say I did the same thing with the John Wick. You know,
You moved his
'Cause
eyes?
I played with his eyes a little bit because it was the same thing, right? Like especially with the action poses, right? I had the rifle up and I was trying to get him kind of to look down a little bit, but I wasn't getting the pose. I was like, let me try it. And I just moved the eyes a little bit, and I was like, "Oh my god, this actually works!
It changes everything, man.
This actually works!" And I'm like,
changes everything.
But then, of course, I to get him there, it wasn't like I got it right on the first time, right? Like all of a sudden, one of the eyes was going one way, the other one was going another way,
right?
Because I overdid it. Because it really is. You don't need a lot of pressure to do it. It's like you got to be super.
It's very, very like soft. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just very gentle. A little bit of push, it goes whoop. You know, so
Yep.
And those tools are garbage. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Specifically for the Joker, right? They usually work for every figure, but the Joker, because the way it's set up, right? Remember, you got the tongue slot, right? So if you got the tongue stuck in there, to get in there, you have to remove the tongue, and so it's not, you know, it's not user friendly.
Right.
It's annoying. That's good, Fabs. You have taken the first step into a much larger world. This guy. All right. So what do you think about the price point? That was another thing that's very important with this. I think it's something like 320, 340.
It was 330.
330.
You know what? Look, everybody's always going to complain about things being too expensive. I think for what you're getting here, a light up base, right? They're going to charge you for that, and 3 sculpts, right? 3 sculpts with all the accessories. I actually don't mind the price.
Yeah, it's fair.
You know?
I think it's very fair.
I think it's very fair. Yeah.
And remember also, guys, you gotta take into account the metal joints, the updated metal joints, right? Not that justifies, you know, paying an extra $100, but it's important. It's an important update. It's important innovation, right? When Inart came out with their magnetic, useless bodies, everybody thought that was the most amazing thing in the world. It turned out to be useless. Clearly, this is something useful for
Right.
the figures, right? Example, the first Deadpool's ankles were breaking. Now we get metal pegs. What does that mean? Less of a chance of anything breaking with the wrist and the ankles. So that is good innovation. That is useful innovation.
Right.
Right. Inart decided to use, because they didn't create the body. That's another misconception that people have. Inart did not create that body that they used for the Joker. They bought that body. Okay. Hot Toys creates their own bodies. Every single body that you see on any single Hot Toys figure was created by Hot Toys, customized by Hot Toys, done by Hot Toys. So big difference, with the two. But it tells you, like I tell you guys all the time, when it comes down to, experience, there's nothing that Inart is doing, has done, will ever do that will tickle Hot Toys in any way, shape, or form. The one thing, and everybody knows this, the one thing that Inart introduced as mainstream was the rooting, which obviously everybody knows Hot Toys took it over, and here we are. How do you feel about that, Rudy? That whole situation of Inart coming in and then everybody expecting it to be this incredible company, and then it turned out they were useless.
Look, I think they tried, and it just didn't work out, right? Like, look, with the Harry Potter figures, they went back to the typical pegs, the typical wrist pegs, pressure based, right? None of that magnetic nonsense. And the one issue I did have was the way they do the connections for the heads to the body, right? It's magnetic and it's like a socket. It's not an actual like peg or anything like that. And I think I told you, right? Like I was doing some poses with one of the figures, and it just literally plopped down and the head flies off because it's just pressure mounted and it's not even that good, and the magnet's not super strong. So if you've got him posed up, it's not a problem. But if you look, and your figure shouldn't be falling, right? But that was I was also like putting him in a pose where he fell. That doesn't happen with the Hot Toys figures. So it's great to be innovative, but you also want to be
useful, right? Useful, correct.
You want the functionality.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're correct. So it's one thing to be praised for claiming that the company did something good, which turned out to be useless, and the other is actually innovating with purpose, right?
Yeah, like I think these metal joints are. Yeah, I think these metal joints
are the future.
It seems like it seems like such a simple thing that now you're kind of questioning why weren't people doing it before?
Cheaper.
It's cheaper, obviously, but the fact that you're getting them now, the whole idea is to make these, especially if you want to pose them up, as kind of break proof as possible, and that's a huge step, right? Giving you a metal joint.
Absolutely, because again, especially for the wrist pegs, right? Those always break. We break those often. That's why there isn't one single Hot Toys figure that doesn't give you extra wrist pegs, right? They give them to you for a reason. Maybe the Iron Man figures are the only ones who don't give you wrist pegs, is because obviously that the body's completely different, and the wrist peg is attached to the actual
it's a joint. It's like a full joint. Yeah.
Correct. So that's why we don't get them with those figures. But any other figure that requires them, we'll get them, because you never know. And not that, we say we break them all the time, but if you really think about it, they don't really break that often. How many of the spares have you actually used? I can tell you not many.
Not many.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll tell you, I had a rash of bad luck where I had a 3-0 Stranger Things figure with I was just posing the hand.
Red Guardian?
No. One of the kids from Stranger Things. And I was just posing the hand with the radio, and it just snapped. and I was like, what the hell? And then I had the same thing happen with
Wait, you get extras from 3-0? No.
No, 3-0 doesn't give you extras, which is a nightmare.
That's
So that's where you have to go to all these other like places that parse out the pieces, and they have some extras.
You got it from Brandon then?
No, no, because Brandon doesn't have those. Brandon's a Star Wars guy, you know. He doesn't.
Oh, that's true. That's right.
He doesn't parse those out. So I ended up going to like Monkey Depot and all those because they have extra things.
Toy anxiety. Let me tell you something. Toy anxiety is my new best friend. That's all I have to say.
I mean, you need them. You need places like that, especially when they don't give you that. And then the worst thing that happened, then it was another figure. Then it was another military figure too. So I had to buy like 3 sets of pegs back to back, which really got annoying.
For
but
the same figure.
Yeah. So that was probably the worst stretch of luck. But then again, like you're right, that hasn't been as common.
They do break, right? They do break. That's
Right.
so we get spares, right? They expect them to break, which is why we get a pair with every single figure, right? The thing is, they don't
Right.
break often. They do break, but they don't break often. Now, do you think that getting these metal ones now, are we going to still get spares? Because if we get spares, I can tell you this. If we still get spares with metal ones, they expect the metal ones to break too.
Right.
Because that makes no sense. Or, which again, this doesn't make sense, or in case you lose one.
Right, when you're trying to like take one out and it goes flying, and then you're like, what the hell?
When have you really lost one is the point. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So what do you personally think? Do you think that we're getting enough?
Like if it like actually I that's a good question. And I would say if they're metal, I don't think you necessarily need them. So you know what? I'm going to take that back. I think you're still going to get extras because what some people do, and I do it too. The only time I've used the pegs is if they're socketed really well into a hand, and I might just take the peg out from the actual arm as opposed to trying to get the hand off, and then I'll use the spare to just connect it to one of the hands that I want to use. So that way.
Oh, so you don't have to constantly keep pulling it out, pushing it in, pulling it out.
So I wouldn't be surprised if you still get.
Well, that'll make it that causes you to have more of a risk of breaking the peg, the constant, pulling off and putting on and pulling off. Yeah, that could happen. But do you really think they're going to give you extras now because of that? Because remember, just because that's what you do with the spares doesn't mean that they're going to well, no, not that. Doesn't mean that they're going to justify giving spares when they know they're not going to break anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you think yes or no?
I don't know. Maybe not. No, maybe not. I think listen, we've got Ahsoka shipping right now. Right? Ahsoka's released, so we'll know pretty soon. And this one too, Deadpool.
Well, so remember Ahsoka got metal joints too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When we get that Ahsoka and people start getting them in hand, people don't necessarily look at that, but that we're going to be able to tell pretty quickly what the new direction is in terms of like, is Hot Toys going to give us spares or not? Right.
Yeah, but we got to wait and see for that. Absolutely. But that's exciting, that we're getting.
That's a good update. Yeah.
Because to a certain extent, we always have to worry about things with every figure, right? You always got to be careful with certain things, putting on certain things, not breaking certain things. Having metal joints, legs and feet, or hands and feet, to me, that's 2 less things we got to worry about. Whether it's breaking, whether it's quality, whether it's, being flimsy. Once you know that there's something metal and you can, they're fully functional and you can pose however you want and there's like 0 chance of it breaking. You know how incredible people are going to feel, especially people who love to pose, where they like to, the pushing, they like pushing the boundaries with the posing and the ankles, joints and twisting and turning, and especially the bodies that pivot with the ankles, because those are the best bodies. And I tell you guys in every video, any figure that comes with a body where the ankles pivot, it's a great body and it's usually a great figure. So because of that, I think that the figures are going to feel that much better quality. one thing I've been noticing also with the, well, at least with the latest figures I've gotten, pulling out the hands to swap them, the wrist pegs aren't coming out as much. I am noticing that, which that is annoying. Okay, you like, just like you said, you like doing that. You just swap the hand out and put it in with the spare wrist peg. I hate that. I just like taking off the hand, just popping it back in with the replacement, and that's it. But then to pull it out, I'm not gonna take out a spare, rip the bag open. I would never do that. I will never do that. Right? So no, I just, because I like it to be in the baggie, neat in there. You know what I mean? So what I do is pull it out. Yank it out of my freaking teeth usually, plug it back in, and then put the other hand on. I don't leave it there. And then again, that happening, the wrist peg sliding out completely, annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Anytime it happens. No, anytime it happens, it's freaking annoying.
No, because then you have, like, it's nice when it stays stuck in the arm.
Correct.
Because then you can literally just pop it off, like you said.
Correct.
That is annoying when it comes off completely, because then you kind of have to pry. There's nothing to leverage, like the thing again. So you have to kind of just work it out of the socket without having anything to really grip the joint. So yeah, no, that's annoying, and I've noticed it a lot too with a lot of the figures. As Sabine Wren, right? I was just doing some poses with her, and it's the same thing, right? The pegs and the sockets aren't that.
They're very tiny.
Hard.
They're very tiny.
But they're tiny. But you could start feeling the entire like joint coming loose. So it's a little annoying.
No, that's annoying. That's always been annoying. Carter says a box of 100 wrist pegs is like 100. It's like $10. Yeah, but the problem is they're all different, right? They're not all the same wrist pegs, right? If you get a Captain America and you get a Padme, right? That's obviously night and day, right? So they're not going to be the same. But even if you get like a Captain America and for example, a Thor figure, right? They may not be the same. A different colored figure, right? May not be the same. A Spider-Man, right? Can't be a Thor wrist peg. It's a different body, different size.
Right.
So that's what I mean. So you can't just say, oh, let me get 100, wrist pegs, because they may not work.
Yeah, and company to company, they're different pegs. Actually, they're a little bit different. It's not universal.
Correct. That's another story. You got Hot Toys. You got 3-0.
Yeah.
So that's a different story. Correct. Carter says, I literally got hundreds of hand and foot pegs from collecting figures. I'm not really worried about spare. That's another thing. You could possibly use pegs from other figures that you own, right? Or even, like, for example, like I bought so many bodies, right? So many bodies over the years that I ended up just accumulating a bunch of, like, little like baggies of like all their spare parts. And obviously every single spare body that you buy, every single one has their own, wrist pegs and stuff. So here I just pulled out a set literally in my drawer, just hanging out, because I have them everywhere. So if you've been collecting for a long time, you're definitely going to have a bunch of them, available in your spare. Everybody should have a spares bin, you know what I mean? Because we all have it. So Rudy, last but not least, your favorite. Well, actually, this is not the last. So now, what's going on with Anakin. Obviously, you didn't get this. How do you feel about the whole situation? What do you think it looks like compared to the prototype? And would you pay over retail for this?
I wouldn't pay over retail for it, first of all, right? I think the artisans are expensive enough as it is, and I don't know that I'd pay over retail. But that's also because I'm not as connected to these movies as other people are, right? If you're connected to them, people are going to pay, tons of money for it. I agree with you, right? It looks different than the prototype. But I'll be honest, I was surprised a little bit at the backlash this figure got.
I'm Kurt.
I was surprised at the backlash this figure got, because while I agree, It's definitely not. There are changes from the prototype, especially the hair, right? Much darker, but and there's definitely a downgrade in the details on the sculpt. It still looks. I still thought it looked phenomenal. I still think it looks great, and I was just the range of opinions were like straight out. This is the most horrendous figure I've ever seen. Right? This is the most epic of failures. And I'm like, all right, I don't know that I'd go that far or anywhere near that. I think it's still a great looking figure, right? Overall. And I think you said it best at the start. It's probably one of the best Anakins we've gotten to date, right? Yes, is it a downgrade from the prototype? Yeah, I think so. But I still think it looks awesome. I still thought it was a good job. But again, I don't have that connection to Anakin, where I know some people really love the character and they want something that's perfect. So I can understand the backlash. I didn't see it myself, right? But we'll see. Like if the Scarlet Witch comes out, I might be singing a different tune at that point, right? Or the Black.
Do you own any artisans right now?
No, just Jack Sparrow. He's my first.
Now, question for you, value wise, right? So like you mentioned, the artisan are, almost $500, if not, $5+, after it's all said and done. Regarding value, do you expect, because it's already, retail was $4 and change or whatever it was. Now it's minimum, it's over 1,000. That's just your bare minimum right now. It's over 1,000. What do you see happening in the future with this figure regarding value? It wasn't even out yet, and it was already $1,000. Okay. What does that say to you regarding the future of this figure?
I mean, I think there's still a high demand for him, even with the people having criticisms about it, right? And I think this was one of those that I remember people had a hard time getting. Like artisans in general, whenever they've gone in the queue system and everything, right? People complain about not being able to get them. This one was one though that in particular, I think a lot of people that normally get these like missed out. Like, right? I remember in the group chat too, when this one dropped, people were like, I didn't even get close to getting it, which is kind of the polar opposite of what's been happening with some of the other releases. So to me, that tells me there's a high demand for this figure.
Absolutely.
A very high demand, more so than any of the other artisans, because we've all kind of gotten the other artisans. And you could almost see it too. Like the conversation that's happening on all the groups is for people that are complaining that don't like it. Other people are saying, well, just cancel it because they want to get an opportunity to pick up the pre-order. So even with the people that are criticizing this figure, there's still a high demand for him. So I don't think the value is going to go down for this one. I think if anything, this was going to hold, and I think this was going to go higher.
Same. I think the same thing. I don't think there's any way that this is going down. Exactly what you said is the reason why I don't think it's going down. This was the very first artisan announcement. A lot of people didn't get near this. Nobody really could get it. A lot of people were hoping to get it at release. Nobody expected this to shoot up at $1,000 before the day of release or the day before release, right? So just because of those things, I don't think it's going anywhere. Now, this hobby, right? In this Hot Toys hobby, this Hot Toys world, when there is a second announcement of the same character too close to the first one, usually drives the price down of the original release.
Right.
Do you think that even if Hot Toys decides to come out with the Dark Side Anakin tomorrow, do you think that and again, obviously many variables, right? It's still very early for the figure, so that doesn't mean that it's just going to shoot down in price just because the other one was announced, right? That doesn't happen. It wouldn't happen. It's still way too new. So that's not what I mean. But let's say it's announced tomorrow. What do you see happening to this figure specifically as of the day of the announcement?
I think maybe the price settles a little bit, right? But I still think there's a high demand for him. And again, right, if they were to do a dark side Anakin, right, I think that would be more in competition with the original dark side sculpted version that came out, right?
How so? If so, I don't know if
because I think you're comparing, because dark side and dark side, you're comparing two figures that are supposed to be basically the same character. So I think you're getting an improvement on that one.
I see what you're saying, but just so you know, these figures, like for example, this Anakin here, is bigger than the first Anakin, light side Anakin we got.
Right.
The head sculpt alone has to be bigger because of the rolling eye system, and that's one of the main reasons why the figures have gotten slightly bigger, is because of the to be able to give the figure a decent set of eyeballs. Right, the head sculpt has got the head sculpt size has to increase a certain amount to make it, to make it comfortable, to make it look nice, to make it look decent. And then obviously the body's got to follow. So that's one of the main reasons why the 2.0s are even a thing, because they had to make the figure slightly bigger to be able to start utilizing the rolling eyes more in the head sculpt. And I know this already because I can tell you, just by looking at some of these head sculpts with the rolling eyes, a perfect example. I got this guy right here. I'm actually working on the video for him right now. That's why he's out. And this guy, I can tell you, this guy here is bigger than the original Moff Gideon, than the 1.0.
Right.
Why is that? Because of the head sculpt. The head sculpt is a lot bigger than his original head sculpt. Why? He doesn't have rolling eyes in the first release. He has rolling eyes now. So this is a bigger figure than the original release. And I'm going to show you guys when I make the video. They're going to be side by side. I'm going to show you the height difference. I'm going to show you the head size difference. Because all that is important for you guys to understand why it's even happening. Aaron, my friend, welcome. Nice to see you. Welcome back. Hello. I says they promised us a $420 lifelike figure. Instead, we got the same Anakin we've always had with poofy hair. No, it's not the same. And if you want, you can look up anywhere side by side of the original Anakin and this Anakin. They're not, obviously they have to look alike, but because they're different sizes, they don't look nearly the same. The sculpted hair is kind of funky now and long. It looks very stiff because, again, that's what it's supposed to look like because it's sculpted. But now with the rooting, right, it gives it more life. It looks completely different. Different.
Yeah, and I don't think it's poofy. It looks like poofy doll hair, right? Like, I do think, again, if you look at it, his hairstyle in the movie was a little wacky too. So I'm not gonna say it was the best haircut he had, but I think it's a pretty good approximation of what we saw in the movie. Right. I think again, I do think the hair is a little too dark.
It is dark.
Right.
It's very dark.
Definitely dark. But beyond that, yeah, I don't know that I consider this like doll hair.
And the crazy thing is, this is what I don't like. Why would you show us a prototype with something that you're not planning on using?
Right.
If you're using a different type of hair for a prototype that you're not going to use for the final product, why would you even use that?
Right.
Like, I understand you want to make the figure look great and the best for the promo picture so people get all hyped up about it. I understand that. But then at least try to make it somewhat close to it.
Right. And this figure, this was an interesting one too, right? Because you remember this showed up at a couple of shows.
Mm-hmm.
And like one of the first shows after announcement, people were like,
"What
great. The hell?"
No. In the beginning,
one where the hair looked.
In the beginning, yes, I remember that.
You remember? It wasn't a sideshow event. It was somewhere overseas, and the hair people. I remember I was like, "What the hell is this?" Because it doesn't look like this. That looked like doll hair, right? That looked like it was
the one you're talking about. Did look puffy. That one you're talking
about.
That
one looked horrible.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I remember.
You remember everybody? Because I remember that one, and rightfully so. Everybody was like, "What are they doing?" And it was like whoever posed this up or whoever put this out.
I remember.
No way.
I remember. Giova says, I'm still salty missing out because the Q jank, but I'll get over it since I have the original at least. Yes, I missed out on that one. Also because of the Q.
This was
Again,
a tough one to get.
Yeah,
man.
a lot of people missed out on that Q. A lot of people remember that the Q was crashing too. That's the reason why.
Like I remember, what have we had since Black Widow, Scarlet Witch,
Peter, Iron Spider, Bucky,
all of those. I think in our group, right, like a lot of us were able to get those, right? And like I go back to this one, easier, yeah. For this one, I remember we all jumped on, and I don't think any of us, maybe one of us got it, but most of us didn't.
But yeah, I don't know who got it from our. What's his name? I think TK said he got it for 600-ish, which is retail. So
right.
But I don't know where he got it from.
But I think there was a huge demand for this guy, clearly.
David, my friend, welcome. Gina Davis lightsabers, sick AF. I'm not salty. I missed out. No. This guy. They better give me some. This guy. It's the Freddie Mercury of Star Wars. Rudy Fab was in full panic a week ago.
I watched the stream. I
was not. I didn't have one. What do you mean I'm not going to panic? Of course. I don't have one. I needed the problem with this figure was this for me. I've been able to, again, thank God, shout out to William, because without William, I would have 0 of these artisans. But because of William, right, I've been able to get every single one, right? I've missed out on like 2 or 3 that he's given me, whether it's an Iron Man, whether it's, Captain Winter Soldier I'm getting from him.
Right.
So I've been able to get some on my own and then some through him, right? The ones that he doesn't want, I get. Again, thank God and thanks to him. The thing is that because of my mentality of I need to have it all, I can't just not have the one figure that I missed out on. And again, I didn't miss out because I couldn't afford it. I didn't miss out on it because, I didn't want it. I didn't miss out on it because of any other reasons that were in my control. No, I had no control over that. So that's why I was not just going to be like, oh, well, I had no control, so it is what it is. Absolutely not. I had to go find a way to go find that figure for my collection. There is not going to be a figure that I'm not going to have in my collection, especially an artisan figure, that I'm not going to have in my collection because of Sideshow. Now, the markup price that I paid was obviously insane, right? Unnecessary, sucks, hurts, it's painful. But if I were to complain about collecting, what am I doing here? I would easily just say, you know what? I'm not getting the figure, and that's it. That's not my mentality. That's not how my mind works. If I'm involved in collecting, I'm going to collect. And having to overpay for something that I know, number 1, will have value. Number 2, will keep value. Number 3, will bring value to my collection as well. Why wouldn't I do it?
Right.
So that's how I justify all my stuff, right? I'm not going to be having, let's say a Hot Toys made 30 artisan. Oh man, you got all 30? Nah, I got 29. I didn't get Anakin through Sideshow. Do you know how retarded that sounds? So yeah, I would never allow.
Well, listen, that's how you're collecting, right? But like even for me, because we've talked about it, I've got a couple of the artisan figures on order, right? I've got the Scarlet Witch, I've got the Black Widow, the Winter Soldier, the Moon Knight, the Harley Quinn, right? Quinn.
What about the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix? Because he's delayed too.
I ended up not ordering him. I think the trash that was Joker 2, like that ruined it for me. Even though it's a great looking figure, that was one of the cases where I'm like, nah, I don't need him. I was on the fence too, right? It wasn't like I was like oh, I have to have him. I was on the fence, and that just kind of pushed me in the one direction. But the one that I had an opportunity to get, right, was the God Loki, the artist in God Loki.
Oh,
and I remember, but I got to the front of I got to my moment to make the purchase, and for some reason, because it was about $100 differential between the sculpted version and at least up to that point, and the rooted.
It was.
And for some reason, God Loki was like $140 more.
Yep.
It was something ridiculous, and I looked at it and I was like, no way. Nope. It's not that much. I ended up going with the sculpted on that one. And I don't regret it. Right. I'm not saying that the artist is not going to look amazing. It is. But I was like, you know what? I'm getting the same exact figure. I know the pose I want for him. I'm like, I can live without that one. Right. So we all collect differently. So I totally get where you're going, where you want to have, you don't want to miss out on the one, right? Because you said you didn't get in the queue. But for me, I'm like, I'm being very selective too, because they're expensive figures, right? Very expensive. Like when you look at Moon Knight, right? Moon Knight, they didn't do another sculpted version of Moon Knight. They did the sculpted version of Mr. Knight. Correct. So, they kind of got you that way. Black Widow, they didn't do a rooted version, sculpted version of her, right? Same thing with Winter Soldier, right? I don't think they did a sculpted version. So those are like the ones that I'm kind of like, okay, those, and it's the same thing with this Anakin, right? They did not do a sculpted version of this Anakin. So that's why I think the demand is also higher up for this guy, even with the deficiencies.
And I don't think they're going to do a sculpted for Darkseid either.
Right.
Big Red, my friend, welcome. Hello! Thank you for being here. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. There's 28 of you garlics in here. Thank you guys for being here as well. Let me see where you guys are at. I got it. Says that exactly how I feel when the promo photos say to seem to lend their arms. The photos had seemed. Why not even show it? They ain't releasing 3.0 anytime soon. Yeah, no 3.0s anytime soon is right.
No.
Crazy. Yeah, those cues are ass. Yeah, no, that's the only thing. So I would never. This guy just realized why he was laughing. Bob. I just can't miss out. I have this completionist mindset, right? And not for everything, because I don't have everything finished yet, at least, right? I'll always try every line as much as I can. But I can tell you right now, after spending a grand on one artisan, I don't see me being held back or stopped by any price point in the future. Meaning, okay, let's get something very clear. Does not mean I'm going to be paying a grand per figure. Absolutely not. But obviously, if I miss out on something in the queue, and that's just what happens, and that's just the outcome of me missing it out, then I'm going to buy it however I need to buy it. It sucks because think about it. Let's say the figure's $600 retail. I paid an extra $400, let's say. You know how many other figures I could have gotten? I could have gotten 2 used figures. I could have gotten one brand new figure. So 2 figures for $1K instead of 1 figure for $1K. So
that's what makes it painful.
Correct. That's what makes it painful, because I could have put that little bit of extra money towards another one, right? That's where the pain comes from. Not me. Oh man, I just paid $1,000 for a figure. So if it's hurting you, that you had to pay $1,000 for a figure, why'd you buy it? That's why I would never complain about anything like that, because it doesn't make sense. Nobody told me to buy it. Nobody's forcing me to spend $1,000 on it. That's my choice. So for me to sit there and go, oh, Hot Toys sucks. Hot Toys sucks at $1,000. It's not Hot Toys' fault, number one. And you don't have to buy it, number two. That's what people complain. It's like, why do you complain? Nobody's forcing you to do anything. Go ahead.
Right. It's like what we talk about. Like, I still buy in art figures, and they're expensive as hell, right? Nobody's forcing me to do that. Nefty, right? We love Nefty to death, right? And we joke with him a lot. But he likes Jazz Inc., and he's willing to pay as much as he is. He loves it, all right? He loves it. But
payroll. He's on payroll.
we all buy stuff that, yes, the price is crazy, but if we like something enough, we're gonna collect it. That's what it is. But nobody's forcing us. Nobody's forcing it to do it.
Nobody's
We're doing
telling
it.
you to spend your money on anything.
Right.
Nobody's telling you to spend thousands on anything. And great point with Nefty. Nobody's going to tell Nefty what to buy. Nobody's going to tell Nefty what to do with his money. Nobody. He likes what he likes, and that's it. Nobody
cool.
can hit it.
Fine.
No, it's perfectly fine. The problem with Jazz Inc. is that none of it is worth that money. That's it. That's it. None of what he sells is worth what he's charging for it. That's always been my issue. That will always be my issue. And that's that. Right? So if you got money to be spending on that stuff, like Nefty does, why wouldn't he if he liked it? If he didn't like it, he wouldn't be buying it. So it's not about liking it. It's not about, you have to hate the product. No. What I tell you guys all the time is nothing he makes is worth what he charges. People justify it every day. People call it the best vehicles in the world. People call Jazz Inc. the best diorama maker, the best customizer in the world. That's unrealistic. People believe it. Again, that's why he has a whole cult going around. Because these people, in their eyes, he does no wrong. Everything he makes is perfect. Everything he makes is the best. And the reason they believe this is because this is what he says. You have other clowns saying that Jazz Inc. is great. Jazz Inc. is this. Again, in the group. Other idiots see that and go, oh, yeah, must be true. They don't know any better. And they start repeating the bullshit. That is the most common thing that happens in this community. Everybody's in the groups. One tool says something. Somebody else will copy that and start repeating it elsewhere without having any basis, without knowing anything. That's how the community works. So, Michael says, if someone wants it bad enough, they will justify a reason to get it no matter. Exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No matter what it is. It could be a car. It could be a bike. It could be a piece of chocolate. It could be food. It could be anything. You will if you want it badly enough, you will justify it. If it's money related, oh, it's $1,000. Well, you know what? It's money. I'll make it again. So there goes that justification.
Yeah, listen, I picked up figures too that I really wanted that I got late in the game where I was like, I overpaid. Right?
Like
Nobody told me you have to do. Well, I picked up that damn Toys Gangsters Kingdom line. Right? And there were a couple of figures like the Mike Tyson figure that they did. Remember, or the Pulp Fiction 2-pack?
I remember. Yeah.
Those were very expensive to get in the secondary market. And you know what? I had the entire line and I wanted to be a bit of a completionist on that one. And I said, you know what? I want them. I'm going to pay for it.
Can you say how much or like?
Yeah. The Mike Tyson, I think when it came out was like $200, and I think I paid like $550.
Oh, I thought you were saying came out. You paid $200. I was like, that's a lot.
No. I paid $550 because that one came with the diorama, the couch, and everything.
I remember.
Right, and then the 2-pack too. It was like 200 and change. Like
2-pack
of
200s. Mike Tyson?
No, the 2-pack of the Pulp Fiction, the John Travolta and the Sam Jackson ones.
That's right.
They did. They were the very animated style, but they were a little bit rarer, and I think I paid like $6 for that one, or $6 or $7. So
yeah, but that's what it is. You want to get those figures, you want to complete those lines, you have to suck it up. You know what I mean? It's not something we do all the time. It's not something we look forward to.
No, not at all.
Ever,
no.
Right?
No.
Ever. I can guarantee you, before those two figures, when did you overpay for anything before? Probably never.
No. Yeah. So those were two in particular that I had to get. But other than that, right, those are the rare occasions. So, but it happens, right? And if you really want something, like everybody's saying, it's not that you have to justify it to yourself, but if you really want something, you're gonna get it, right? If you're able to, of course.
It's true. I'm just this guy. Bob says, never mind. I just saw something. Bob, you're crazy. I just saw your message, Bob. I almost said it out loud too. Oh man. Tweet says, when you're a millionaire, 1K will never hurt. This guy is unreal. This guy is unreal. Believable. No respect. I never collect backwards. There's always going to be another future release. Yes and no, right? Yes and no. That is not obviously true for everything. Sometimes you do have to go backwards, right? For example, Michael in the channel member in the chat, he has to go backward for all these T800s, right? All these
Right.
endoskeletons. He has to go back for that original Arnold, right? That with no likeness. He had
Yep.
to go back for Kyle Reese. There, when is he getting a Kyle Reese? So that's what I'm saying. Like your statement, your comment, to a certain extent, yes, right. With the newer stuff, it's more likely to get an updated figure with something newer than something from 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So that's the difference with that.
But it's a chance you take too, though, because
Correct.
I think there's a good point there. Because think about how many people went back and back collected the Blitzway Ghostbusters, and like you said, right, Blitzway until that moment had never done 2.0s of anything,
Right.
and then all of a sudden, because you could see it, people were paying a lot of money to get that 4-pack, and then all of a sudden, Blitzway dropped that news, and it was like, wow, people paid like over, what, $2,500, $3,000 for that set, right?
Yep.
And it's not going to be a
For the
cheap set, but
Ghostbusters.
yep,
Ghostbusters. Yep. No, it's insane. All right, guys. Last but not least, don't go anywhere. So here we got Rudy, the Mondo Darth Vader. That's what I call it because it looks exactly like a Mondo figure.
It does.
All
What the effects, yeah.
Correct. All the Mondos have this paint on them. It looks like a cartoonish style figure, right? So how do you like this? Do you care for something like this? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's obviously different, but do you like the fact that it's different this way? Do you think it's kind of goofy, kind of cheesy to just paint it this way and then to price it at what they're pricing it? Because there's not going to be 300, barely 300. This is going to be mid 300s at least.
We haven't seen the price yet for this, right?
Nope.
Have we? Or
nope. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be something 300 plus.
You know what? I think this is a figure that's going to depend on the lighting that you have at home too, right? Because look, they're showing him in a darker setting, and I'll be honest, I didn't mind this one. Like I think if I had to pick a Darth Vader, it's not necessarily the one I would pick, right? But I did think the effects look pretty cool, right? The blue and the red. But I think this comes down to lighting, right? If you don't have the proper setting for this, I think it's going to look a little wacky.
Fabs, you're wrong. I said that there would be a future release. I didn't say that there would be a 2.0 or a re-release. Just a new. This guy. I didn't say you were wrong. All I said was unbelievable. I didn't say you were wrong. All I said was that you were oh man. I sold my DX13 this afternoon on not an April Fool's joke. I was torn. The buyer really wanted them and bought them for a price I couldn't pass up. I got the 240. I got two DX46 2.0s coming, so it made sense. Absolutely. You're better off with the new ones anyway. They're going to look better. They're going to be obviously your newer size, right? Bigger, beefier figures, updated, right? Better all around. So you're fine. You're fine. Right. This Vader is a straight money grab. I read monkey grab. Money grab. No other reason for it being made. Of course, if you pay attention to these exclusives, they're usually very easy things to make. Like look at even Galen, right? Galen is the most basic outfit. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's basic. It's the sculpt, right? The sculpt is the new thing, right? And some of the accessories, but you're not getting anything complicated. It's just a guy in a suit, essentially, right? Right. And this is just another variant. It's a variant Darth Vader that they're giving you, right? So, again, you're 100% right, Thule. Like this is one of those figures that if you need one Darth Vader in your collection, this is not going to be it. I wouldn't think that
if anything, this would be the last one you need in your collection.
Exactly. But this is going to appeal to somebody who's a huge fan, right? And again, because it's being labeled an exclusive, some people are really going to want it. And again, just it's a Darth Vader figure. We've gotten tons of them already by now with a slightly different paint app to create that effect. And my problem with this one is I do like the idea behind it, and I think it's an interesting approach. But if you don't have the right lighting on this, I think it's going to look really, really bizarre.
Moose says this Vader figure is the one when your daughters finds it with the Crayolas from hell.
That's
But
right.
I'm glad someone will enjoy them now too. That's the hidden joy of the hobby. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, if they offered you that money, they really wanted that figure.
Yeah.
This Vader is in the club saying to the girls, "Who's your daddy? Who's you, daddy? Who's you, daddy?" Unreal. Never mind. All right, so Rudy, how exciting, how appealing, 1 to 10, and how many are you buying? And what would you price it at?
Not for me. This is pretty basic though. Look, because it's an exclusive, it's gonna be more expensive, but I don't think I'd price this over 300.
Right.
And I think that because I mean, look, I wouldn't price it. Ideally, it would be more like 280, because Darth Vaders tend to be bigger figures anyway, right? They're taller figures. But what are you getting here? You're getting nothing. You're getting a lightsaber. You're getting
this is all. Everything is reused. Everything.
Right. It's a different paint app.
That's it. That's it. Everything.
And
is reused.
And is it going to be a paint app that like you could put him anywhere and he's going to look great? I don't know. I don't think that's the case. So I think this is one of those that's going to appeal to people that really, really want this variant or just want to collect every single Darth Vader. But for me, I think if it goes high or mid 300s, it's too much.
It's gonna go. It's got. See, this would be again. No head sculpt, nothing fancy to it.
No accessories either.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Hands and the hilt with the 2 effects. That's it.
Which we've seen, yeah.
And so this, again, Vaders are big figures. They're tall figures. They're bulky figures. So this cannot be as a standard. Your most basic Vader is already 300. Okay.
Right.
So that just from the size, just from what it is, just from the character, right? It's just a big, bulky, massive character. He's already 3+, just from nothing. Now, you have an exclusive aspect to it. That's going up in value. Yep. That's going up in value, monetary value, and resale value. It's a it's very easy to make too, right? Yeah. So again, this is just strictly paint. There's nothing fancy about it besides the paint. So when it came to the amount of work put into it, not much either. Again, it looks beautiful, but not much work either compared to electronics, compared to, a lot of these things. Again, it looks like we have LED lightsabers anyway, right? Which is great. We should, right? Like I tell you guys, the moment we get something from Hot Toys, there's no going back. Right, so it wouldn't make sense for them for us to be getting Vaders with the USB powered battery packs, and to get this exclusive without it. Right, wouldn't make sense. Why are we not getting the light up feature with this one when every other Vader has it? So that's what I mean. So that we got to pay for. So that's what I mean. The figure's got to be 350, 360 at least. Just from what
I don't know, man. I think at that point it's too expensive. I mean, even the 310 is probably too expensive, but I think they're reaching at that point. Unless this is like one of 300, right? Super limited. I think that's too high.
This looks like another shampoo bottle Darth Maul. This guy.
But you know what? That shampoo bottle Darth Maul got sold out. Like
absolutely, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
You guys make fun all you want, but Hot Toys making their money. It's simple. It's simple. Mitchell, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello.
Our pass or not? Will Hot Toys do a Revenge of the Darth Vader they teased years ago? Absolutely. That is one Vader that we haven't gotten yet. We've gotten an Anakin, Dark Side Anakin. No Vader from Revenge of the Sith yet. We're getting the
artisan Anakin that just dropped.
Artisan Anakin, right? We're getting an artisan Anakin. We're gonna get the Dark Side artisan Anakin, and eventually we're getting the Sidious from Revenge of the Sith as well, right? The new one coming.
Yeah.
right? That's the new one. We just got the Sidious from Clone Wars. The new one with the angry, with the angry face is from Revenge of the Sith as well. So after that, most likely a Vader is inevitable. Down
right. And look, if they want to do something different, I wouldn't be surprised if we get if they do a Vader with the table, because you know how he's getting the armor assembled and then the table kind of pops up.
Yes,
I wouldn't be surprised if you get something that variation. It's still going to be a Vader, but with that table or something to create a bit of a diorama look. I wouldn't be surprised if you get that.
It'd be sick if we get like, do you remember? I don't know. You may own this. Remember the Iron Man Mark II Unleashed version?
The one that has the table. With the table that was stupid cardboard. It wasn't even like an actual plastic piece, right?
Remember what the whole point of that table was?
It was to lay him out. You had the suit, right, with all the components.
Remember, everything split apart. You could take everything apart.
And you had the unmasked helmet so that you could open it, so you could have it displayed. I remember that.
Right. So
that would be great.
Same thing. We could have him on the table as if he's being put together type stuff in a diorama. I don't know.
You know what? Look at the battle damaged Darth Vader that we're getting. Right? That concept one with the big cape that looks like Vader's mask. You already have basically the charred body already.
Correct.
So yeah,
battle
damage, right? Hot Toys could take that and give you something that you could start putting together. That'd be cool.
And don't forget that because of that battle damage and all that stuff that they already have for that figure, like you mentioned, they can reuse that back to tank version too.
Yeah.
Because you never know what they're gonna do, right? They're doing all this suit up Iron Man figures, they're doing all this stuff. Why can't they do a back to tank? Obviously, there's gonna be no water in it, but they could give you, the diorama look
an
of
effect
it.
piece. Yeah,
correct.
Look, you're right. I always questioned how was Hot Toys gonna keep on going with Iron Man, and obviously they're doing the armors, they're doing comic concept armors now, right? Variant armors. Why couldn't they do the same thing with Darth Vader? That battle damage one is based on I think it's a comic book, right? So that looks great. But why couldn't they do something like Vader getting put together? That'd be awesome.
That'd be sick. And I think it's coming. And it's gonna be like magnetic pieces to watch.
Right.
I think there's got to be magnetic pieces. Sean, my friend, welcome.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Welcome. I'm a hardcore Vader collector, and I don't even want this one. Unreal. No loyalty to Vader. Anakin is gone. I am what remains. Yep. My Kenobi Deluxe Vader is the only one I need. I'm just mad I missed out on the real leather suit that was getting made. They have those custom ones now. I think Hannah Lee sells them. Where would you even put this? That's one thing. That is, when Rudy was speaking, I'm like, where the hell am I putting this thing? Like, where does it belong? Where does it go? The one thing I could think of is, like, for example, next to like a arena Boba Fett, or the animation Boba Fett, or things like that, variants like that, right? You have a shelf with all variants, that would be beautiful. But like to put this next to like a New Hope shelf or anything like that, it's gonna be like, what the hell's going on here? You know what I mean? It doesn't belong.
I have to go back to it's the lighting, right? You need to have the lightsaber lit up, right? So because otherwise it's gonna look dull. So you need the lightsaber lit up, and ideally you need to have either somebody with a blue lightsaber as well, so that you could really create that dynamic look that oh my god, the lightsabers are shining on him, and it's got to be a little dark, right? So where do you do that?
Basuda Vader. This Vader belongs on the show in your daughter's room. In your daughter's room. All right, so Rudy, 1 to 10.
You know what? Honestly, I'll give this one like a 7 because it's a Darth Vader.
Right. It's still sexy though.
It's an interesting approach. I think it's a variant too, which is what knocks it down, right? Because it's basically the same thing reused, just a paint app. But if you do this and you set it up well and it turns out well, this could be a pretty cool looking piece to have in your collection. I don't think it's a definitive Vader, and I think there are other better versions. But if you did get this and you do it the right way, I think it could be good. But I'd give it a 7.
7. All right. So, what are the chances of you getting this when it's released? 1 to 10?
None.
No respect. All right, guys. So, as promised, did we miss anything, Rudy?
I think we're good.
We're good, right? We covered everything. You're good. All right. So, like I said, guys, as promised, let me just set up here real quickly so we could get the giveaway going. And then we're out of here. So again, guys, this is because I just hit 10,000 subs on YouTube. I'm still at 10,001, which is amazing, unless they unsubscribe any second, which they won't. So like I said, stay tuned, guys. 100,000 coming soon. And let's go. All right, let me set this up, and we will. So before we do the what do you call it? The giveaway, Rudy. Anything coming? Are you expecting anything? Have you ordered anything? Are you expecting shipments?
I ordered Deadpool. Not Deadpool. Daredevil. I'm gonna probably order Deadpool tonight. But then it's been quiet, man. Everything's gotten delayed. So I got a bunch of delay notifications for everything. So I think it's gonna be a little quiet for a bit. I think the only thing that I'm waiting to ship now is the caustic plastic Braddock.
Oh, okay. That you're waiting for that.
The Chuck Norris. Yeah, that's the only one I'm
waiting to ship.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the only one. But other than that, pretty quiet.
What
right
about
now.
what about the Top Gun figures? Any of those?
Well, I ordered them, but they're tentatively scheduled to release in April. But we'll see.
Which ones did you get? The all white one and the jacket one and the flight one?
I got the Maverick, right? And then I got the Goose and the Iceman. I got 2 of those so that I could create both looks.
Oh, those are all DID, right?
Those are all DID, so I got those. But yeah, other than that, it's been all Hot Toys all the time, right? I have to order a couple of other figures too. Like I'm trying to catch up. This is like the perfect opportunity.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, no, they're gonna be nice. They're gonna look cool.
They are.
Let's see. What does tech support have to say? This guy Tuli says, "Here we go. Chucho collection. Look at this guy. Welcome."
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up?
Guys, so let me set up real quickly and then we're out of here. So don't forget, giveaway in 2 seconds. Here we go. As always, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.